Oh, that's why. All right, here we go. I think that's a little better. People was like, what the heck? What we doing? Is we good? Yeah. All right, here we go. See, they didn't already started. They was like, listen, we trying to get this dude up out of here early today. But no. Today, we got a great show planned for you today. And little old me, turns out that was trending yesterday. Little old G. Bush was trending on Twitter for all things considered, right? And I think it would be funny. How are you? I wake up and Darren Smith hits me up, and I wake up and Jonathan Peterlin hits me up, and I wake up and, all of the people hit me up. By the way, I always told y'all out there that when it comes to me and my brethren, I've had everybody reach out to me and say happy birthday via text. So a lot of this stuff that y'all be talking about will be going back around, be thinking is so devastating, right? Don't be devastating, right? I always try to tell y'all this entertainment, bro. This is the opinion piece, right? Everybody that we be talking about, everybody we get to. I heard from King Carmen yesterday. Shout out to him. I heard from Anthony Lima. Shout out from him. I heard from Jonathan Peterlin. I heard from all my UCSS crew. I heard from Darren Smith. I heard from everybody. Everybody pulled up and said, man, G. Bush, happy birthday, man. We appreciate you. We love you. And that just goes to show you. I ain't never been one to shuck and jive. I stand solid. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the truth about sources in media. I'm going to talk about specifically some of the things that I've learned over the years and some of the things that specifically go to talking about what's going on with the quarterback situation this year, right? And after you're done with this and after you read this blog, hopefully you come away understanding a little bit more. And on top of that, you say, dang, dog, this dude he's nice. This dude, I mean, like it'll just make sense. It'll just make sense how we gonna break this down over here. So we appreciate everybody in the building. We're gonna get to a lot today. This is one of them episodes, and I think I say that all the time now, but that just goes to show you how we've been cooking lately. So we're gonna get to the receipts. Oh, you said, G. Bush, I thought you had no more receipts. Now these different. I'm just letting you know. If you catch what I'm putting down, I've been saying this in broad daylight. If you've been catching what I've been putting down, I've been dropping breadcrumbs since 2014, 2010, 2011. We ain't new to this. We true to this. We've been about this. And let me just tell you this, and people may not like it sometimes, but to be honest with you, when you're a pioneer in the game, and I never really understood what, I don't never run around, and, oh, I'm a pioneer. Like that sound kind of crazy. What I mean, what it is when you're a pioneer or God give you a plan, a mission, when God give you a certain level of responsibility, it comes with a certain level of accountability that comes with that too. So just because I say, I've been doing this for a long time, don't mean that I'm saying that I'm better than the next person. I show love to everybody. I show love to everybody in this game. But what I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying sometimes is a little different from what you're saying. We'll explain what I mean. It's a great opportunity to get on in. You're listening to G. Bush in the most electrifying show on the internet. It's the Barbershop right here. Right here on a Saturday morning. Welcome on in. It's G. Bush Saturday morning. Get your coffee. Represent where you're from. Let me know what you're drinking today. We're an alcohol-free show in the morning. You got to be crazy if you're drinking alcohol this early. If it's tea, if it's coffee, if it's a Gatorade, if it's a little water, whatever the case may be, come on in, pull on up, and get the situation together. Make sure y'all like and share this. By the way, let everybody know if they pulling up. The way the thing is working now, so basically I would have this simulcasting on Twitter. I would have this simulcasting on Facebook. But Facebook has changed the algorithm a little bit, and it changed the way where you could put some of your content. So I will not be streaming this on Twitter. I won't be streaming it on Facebook Live. But here's the thing. You can still catch this right now on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You can still catch this wherever you guys are right now on the barbershop. So I won't be doing that. But one thing that I need your help with is let everybody know. Some people say, oh, G. Bush, what happened on Saturday? I'll be watching you on Facebook. I didn't want to let me put it up there like that no more. Twitter, they won't let me put it up there no more. So now you guys got to just pull up and come on over and watch it on the barbershop or UCSS. Share it, put the link out there, and hopefully we get the word out there of what's going on. We got a great show planned for you today. We'll obviously talk about what was going on and trending yesterday from the situation. And I've never seen people talk so crazy about sources. Like sources is light work. Like, what are you talking about? Sources been happening. We'll get to that as well. We'll also get to the beautiful distraction, right? Beware of the beautiful distractions and how that distracts you from what's going on the football field. We'll talk to you about that coming up as well. And then we'll get to this. We're gonna preview this game because what the lesson in hand is the Baltimore Ravens is coming into town and it could get nasty. It could get nasty. So we're going to talk about that, what this means for the offense, the Kevin Stefanski, everything involved, and what this means for the front office as well. So we're gonna give you a lot. We're gonna give you some receipts today, and we're gonna definitely get into this thing. So let me go about this as we start right now. Let me just tell you something. There's a lot of people who are confused about sources. The truth about sources in media is sources like opinion. We all got them. The key is finding the relevancy of them. This and part of what I do is I try to educate you so that you can make an informed decision when people are saying stuff out in the public sphere, right? And so everybody has sources. The question is, how relevant is that source? What information pertains to what you're talking about? And does it benefit you from jumping off the porch saying it? So if you're going to talk about sourcing, you can have a source from every place, right? And I come from an era where I'm an opinion person, right? I talk about my opinion. And what I do, like I encourage everyone to do, is to do your homework, and then you say what your opinion is. Then you go and you find supporting details, whether that's in film, whether that's in the work that you've done and put the context clues together. And then you stand on what you stand on personally. And if you can stand on what you stand on personally, right? If you stand on what you can stand on personally, you ain't got no problem because you've already done your homework and put your work in and you standing on what you believe 1,000%. You always are going to have people that may come out of the woodworks and give you information, whether it's DMs, whether it's a text message, whether it's a Instagram post, whether it's hey man, hey, you don't know me, but boom, 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 boom. Hey, you don't know me, but I heard this about Kevin Stefanski. Hey, you don't know me. I work somewhere in this area of the Browns organization. Let me tell you some things. I've been watching you for a long time. I've been peeping you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to reach out to you. Players like, hey, yo, I appreciate what you said about DeMar Hamlin. I appreciate what you said about NIL. I appreciate what you said about Colin Kaepernick kneeling. I appreciate what you said about when people was running around calling people predators and you say, hold on. Guys say, I appreciate what you said about Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer don't look like you, don't come from the same place where you at. You know what I'm saying? Right? Trevor Bauer don't really necessarily look like somebody would talk to you. But guess what? When Trevor Bauer came out and I said, hey guys, we owe him an apology. That dude got railroaded and the person that lied on Trevor Bauer is now in jail. And I said, if you're going to have the responsibility of saying something that could ruin somebody's career, life, reputation, you should also have to have the integrity to stand on business and then correct the record in public, not behind the scenes, no. If you sully their name in public, you got to go back and you got to change that. You got to make that situation right. So people have reached out to me based on that. See, the difference between a lot of people, and y'all don't understand this, and I just keep it a buck. What I found that was hilarious was the fact that why is it that people can say sources since the beginning of time? Y'all can say sources, and y'all can say, oh, I got sources. Nobody questions them. Nobody says anything. It is what it is. They take it for face value and move on. But the second I say I got sources, you pausing and, oh, well, I don't know, or I mean, does really people talk to you? Or, you know, I don't know. You've never had them before. So you mean to tell me y'all can say whatever you want to, right? But I'm telling you multiple times here, there, everywhere, that what I'm hearing and what I'm talking about, but all of a sudden, you got to vet that out. I don't know if G. Bush really has any, and I don't really know if G. Bush got sources like that. I'm confused. And this proves my point, don't it? This proves my point and what we're talking about. Because why is it that people in this city can believe national people, anonymous national people, who ain't never been to your city, ain't never played the game, ain't never coached the game, ain't never really done nothing in life, ain't really put no work in, don't even identify with the people that they said they getting sources from, but you believe anonymous sources based on what anonymous people is saying? Huh? You believe all them anonymous sources about why it is Shedeur Sanders ain't him, why he was a cancer, why he fell, why he ain't playing. You believed everything. It ain't been one source that stand on that table and put their name on it. Not one. But you believe that. But me, I come out and say, I done told you 3 times. This ain't the first time I done told you. Shout out to FB Tings. This ain't the first time that I done told you. He rewound the tape 4 times. He said, G. Bush said it right here. You know it's different places because I keep a fit on. Huh? You know I keep a different fit on. I said, there'll go one time I said it at camp. There'll go another time I said it during the middle of the season. I just told you again, just now. The problem is you pick and choose who you think you're going to deal with based on who you identify with. And it's the same storyline that I done told you about from day one. It ain't got nothing to do with whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. It's about whether you identify with somebody or you choose to believe what you want to choose. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So as we sit here and we talk about this thing with the media and we talk about what I got sources and how I got sources, let me tell you why there would be there's a chance for 18 to 25-year-old black men to kind of identify with me and maybe reach out. Huh? Let's talk about that. Because the barbershop is about sports, music, and culture. Before I started the barbershop, nobody talked about culture. Zero. Before I started this show, there wasn't nobody talking like this. And people saw, let me go ahead and give it to you. Let me take this down a little bit. Let me go ahead and put this up. You see. So I don't know who this individual is, right? He uses my joint. And this is what I said yesterday. I have an Emmy award-winning show on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Shout out to you if you're watching over there. I'm a content creator at Bleacher Report. I've been doing content, do content every day for Bleacher Report. I've been doing that for the last 2-3 years. Right? I hosted a top 5 radio show on 92.3 The Fan. That radio show was rated top 5, and it was only on once a week on Saturdays. That was by Cleveland Scene Magazine. I didn't say it was top 5. It was Cleveland Scene Magazine that said it, right? UCSS is growing. When we started UCSS, they said, oh, this is a little internet show. You trying to sun people. Oh, it's a little internet show. Now everybody on the internet. If you ain't on the internet, you're not popping. And let me just let you know this right now. I was the first on the internet. Not hating, just telling the facts. Barbershop is moving. We got 34,000 subs. We appreciate every single one of y'all that's up in here getting in. I'm in my high school Hall of Fame. I ain't saying that to say I'm the coldest dude in the streets. I'm just saying that I done played the game at a high level, and I just let you know that if you want to talk football, the guy who's been an offensive coordinator with 6-7 Super Bowl rings, Josh McDaniels, is in that same thing. I did play-by-play for my high school before. I've spoke at the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I'm just letting you know. I got a take that almost has 1 billion views. Am I saying that to say this? That I'm the greatest person? No, I'm a humble person. God put me, everything that I do, everything that I am worth, everything that I have, I owe to God. I owe all to him. I can't do nothing. I couldn't wake up this morning without God. And unless you line yourself with what he talking about, you ain't never going to get nothing in life. What I'm saying that to say this is this. I done played the game at a Division I level. I do a show with I do a show with Tyvis Powell and Dustin Fox. I grew up with Dustin Fox since he was 10. Do you know how many players that I grew up with? I was the inaugural host of the High School Hall of Fame, the National High School Hall of Fame. Marcus Dupree, Ted Ginn Sr., Jerry Ball. These are all people that I talk to personally and text with. But then again, you know that. See, one thing that they always do, and it's an attempt to discredit what you bring to the table. And sometimes, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, sometimes you got to pop out and show people. How is it that I've been doing this long, since 2010, from the mud, no cosign, got it by myself, me and God. He told me and woke up in 2010. It's been documented. My story's documented. Go just search it, because that's how long I've been grinding. Think about this. He says, nah. Somebody says, no. Name the source, man up, and admit that's your personal opinion. All right. So name the players' sources who are feeding you info about Shedeur and Dylan in the locker room. Oldest trick in the media book, and G. Bush studies it like the Bible. First of all, don't be putting no dirty tricks in the same sentence as Bible. Second of all, my dude Mel says, come on, dude, you better than this. When he says that, he's referring to people within the circle, so that's like reporters or whatnot, who are passing information. It starts going around listing players who will tell him things at all. Why? All it does is create drama. You see, the first thing is they create these scenarios in which you want me to operate outside of the bounds of what everybody else's rules and regulations are. Nobody is asking Mary Kay or Daryl Ryder or nobody, Zach Jackson, Jason Lloyd, nobody, Zach Meisel, nobody is asking them, what did you go up to Sham Charania? Did you go up to Joe Varden? Did you go up to any of these dudes and say, well, who is it you're talking to? That's the problem. Because you ain't got a problem with the information. You got a problem who it's coming from. That's what it is. Shout out the Poetic Pen, big circus in the building. Put some respect on my name. Let me show you this. Let me talk to you about this. This is cold. This is crazy. Let me tell you something about this. Let me tell y'all about something like this. You know how arrogant this is? You know how arrogant this is? Let me talk to you about this. The reason I mention all the other things and the different things that I've done and all that is just to show you. In reality, and this, once again, I'm just being humble. There is nobody who has put the level of work in that I've put in. I started off answering phones. I started off interning, putting stages up for folks. And I was in my early 30s. I put my time, my money, my own energy into everything that you see. I've done it from radio. I've done it on TV. I've done it on internet. I've done podcasts, multiple podcasts. I was on Locked On Browns for years. The barbershop moved from a radio to here. And it's been blessed. The post-game show is the biggest post-game show on the internet. No disrespect to nobody else. But you putting bricks in. But more than anything, forget my accolades. Set that aside. Because that's flowery stuff. One of the reasons that people mess with me, let me talk to you about this. When I came up, you weren't allowed talking about your religion. You weren't allowed talking about your culture. You weren't allowed talking about how you identify with people. It was a point where they was telling black folks to shut up and dribble when I came up. That's the era I came up in. The era I came up with, and when I came up it wasn't no NIL. It was, you got a scholarship. You better be lucky we didn't leave you in the hood. When I came up, when everybody else was on the sidelines, I was in the trenches talking about, hey, how you gonna tell Colin Kaepernick that he can't kneel, but yet and still you let them folks fly that Confederate flag at SEC football games? Yeah, that was a whole story. Huh? I said that on air. What? I said I don't like compare nothing to slavery, because that's disrespectful to the ancestors. That's disrespectful for the atrocities, what that really meant. But I'm gonna call the NCAA. They do a lot of sharecropping. That was me. That's 20. That's 2008. That's 2009. That's 2010. You Johnny come latelys. Let me just let you know something. So when you stand on business, and I know this might not be this might not be for everybody, and I'm glad it ain't for everybody, because everything I ain't done ain't been for everybody. But when you talking about the plight of African Americans in this country, and you are the only one, or one of only one, that has gone through it, that's been through it, that have been through some of the same things, that can identify, that listen to the same music, that wear the same jewelry, who like the same clothes, who still get pulled over just like they do when you're in a nice car and you're driving around and they pull you over. That's a level of something. Huh? When I say if you know, you know, some people just don't know. If I'm doing a show that say, y'all always talking about leadership and why people got speeding tickets. You think them folks, y'all do whole shows on speeding tickets. You think them folks is going to pull up to you and give you the whole keys to the castle? Let me tell you where the skeletons are. We don't even talk to police in the hood. We don't, like, what are you talking about? when I'm sitting here saying, when people are sitting here saying, oh, he has a backwards hat. Shedeur Sanders has a backwards hat. Huh? But every other quarterback that you can think, from Aaron Rodgers to Ben Roethlisberger to anything, got a backwards hat, and you bringing that up. You think they talking to you? What kind of arrogance level do y'all folks think y'all got? You feel like you be borderline disrespectful when you talk to these dudes. Y'all write articles all the time about this, that, and the third. But yet and still, you still arrogant enough to think that they gonna come give you all of the tea? They know that you don't mess with them. It's evident. And so I thought it was bewildering. I say, but you guys really, like, you guys don't understand that people don't. I've been saying it on this show forever. The game is different. It's done. Players don't need to talk to sources. You know why? They have their own platforms. They all have podcasts. This is not Muhammad Ali back in the 60s with Howard Cosell. They leveled up, got their information, got a couple cameras, and sit around in a circle with other players. As a matter of fact, y'all not been getting no sources like that for 3 to 5 years. These are the same, like, and you think and this is the problem. You think you smart enough to out-trick me? Again, I'm not saying I'm a genius, but this is dumb. I'm going to say G. Bush is lying, and he's going to just name names. You fool. You guys, you can't be this funny. You can't be this serious. Huh? Huh? What? It's not that hard to believe. If you are, let me just be honest with you. Let me just be honest with you. It's disrespectful to think that young black men, 18 to 25, would not see me and understand what I stand for and not speak to me. Y'all still don't understand culture. You don't get it to this day. The barbershop been giving y'all, dropping jewels for y'all so y'all can understand what's going on for 35 years. We've been dropping jewels to let you know right now that you off base, don't know what you're talking about. And people don't think about it like that. We've been trying to tell you that. But if you're the only one over here doing radio and television and all these other different things, and I'm the only one jumping around, I said, what I got to do, stand on the table? We go to the same barbershops, literally. We go to the same stores, literally. We go to the same restaurants in the street, literally. We know the same people. We go to the same church. Our parents know each other. Our aunts know each other. See, there's a thing in the black community called collective identity. Go look it up in the history books. But since you guys don't believe none of that happened in the 60s and the civil rights, and you doggone don't believe that what happened back in 400 years ago happened. So maybe I understand why it would be confusing. But of course somebody gonna say, G. Bush. G. Bush. I mean, I might as well be them. As a matter of fact, I was them. And as a matter of fact, I still am them. Where you don't understand. Huh? Let me tell y'all something. When I get if I get pulled over in the middle of the night, and I'm riding around at 12:30 and I get pulled over in the middle of the night, I am Myles Garrett. I am Denzel Ward. I am Greg Newsome. I am Quinshad Judkins. I am all the above. I am Jerry Jeudy. I am a black man driving a nice car. And my job is to get home safely. Yes, sir. No, sir. 10-2. It don't matter where I work at. It don't matter how much money I got in a bank account. It don't matter. I'm a black dude driving a nice car. Hands on the wheel. 10-2. Dumb diddy dumb. Shout out to Malice. But you confuse why somebody that lives through that would literally feel comfortable with telling me stuff? Because oh boy. But let me just show you this too. Because I've always been educating you over here. I've always educated you, and we're going to move this forward because obviously it's still not about me. I mean, this was a beautiful distraction to start with. It wasn't never about me. I always tell people, beware of the beautiful distractions, right? Because arguing about anonymous sources just inadvertently proved my point. You see, this conversation pops up. This conversation pops up and it's a red herring. Because when you take a look at how all of this started, I've always told you, beware of what people are going to try to do when moving the goalposts don't work. Instead of moving the goalposts, you know what they do? They just make a bunch of noise over in the left field over somewhere and say, come look over here. Come look over here. This is the real argument. Where are we talking about with this? This started from the fact that somebody said, well, if Shedeur was so good, then the players in the locker room would have already been jumping up and down. And the player, it's another, like I didn't heard the national approach to this. If Shedeur was so good, then the players who really want to win, the locker room knows who the best guys are. The locker room would know. So why is it that no one's speaking up? And then I go to tell you, there's multiple people speaking up, and they've been speaking up about this situation. And I done told you in 3 separate times that we talked about that. But the point is, always understand that people, they do things and they think they slick with these little linguistic pieces and parts. Let me ask you a question. They gaslighted y'all and told y'all it wasn't about no reps, right? They said it was a quarterback competition. Then we found out when I went to camp, and a lot of people did, said it wasn't no competition. He wasn't giving no reps, and he was not even getting no first team opportunities. He was throwing to people that wasn't even on the team. At every opportunity, Kevin Stefanski has limited his ability to even show what he can do. Let me go down the timeline. Even when he played in the Panthers game, he was not given first team reps. He was thrown in with no reps, and he balled out. Magically, that game didn't count to anybody. The Rams game came about, and he got sacked 5 times. I didn't see Dillon Gabriel in real games with first-team lines get sacked 6 times, multiple times. Once against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and once last week against the Jets. And the Jets are one of the worst teams in the league, so don't tell me about great defenses. So, but those 6 don't count. But the 5 do with guys that, okay, whatever. By the way, Shedeur Sanders was not even allowed to finish the football game against the Rams. On the last drive, he takes him out, sits him on the sideline because he was, quote unquote, saving him. I was saving him from himself. You don't want to ruin anybody. You think Shedeur Sanders ain't more mentally tough than Dillon Gabriel? It's Shedeur Sanders. The man that grew up in front of a camera his whole doggone life, and his father is post-prime. You think he ain't mentally prepared? You think that Shedeur's going to cry in the corner and go melt? Stop. That's what you do. But guess what he did? he prohibited the world and the rest of his team from seeing him have an opportunity to actually come back. And let's just be clear about this. You think that, I don't know if y'all think Kevin Stefanski is some deity. You don't think people can have a bias? Well, what is it then, G? Well, what is it? I mean, listen, let's stop acting playing like, why y'all playing this naive game? You playing naive about Dillon Gabriel and whether he can win or not, but you also playing a naive game like people don't got vendettas against people, like people don't got picks, like people don't be having biases, like people don't be like, I don't like this person. You think he's omnipotent? You think they're like, oh, he can't have an issue with somebody? Stop. So if he's not getting reps and he's been asked about it from Daryl Ryder and multiple people, what is Shedeur Sanders' timeline to play him? He doesn't even speak his name. He pivots to young players in general. First and foremost, that's low-key disrespectful. If you ask a specific question about Dillon Gabriel, guess what? You answer the questions about Dillon Gabriel. You say Dillon Gabriel or Quinshon Judkins, or you say Carson Schlesinger. Every single time somebody asks you a question about Shedeur Sanders, you pivot to that's in general about all our young players, I didn't ask you disrespect. No disrespect, Kevin. I didn't ask you about young players. I asked you specifically about Shedeur Sanders. Is there a problem in there? Is there a reason why you seem to not be able to say his name, period? But again, you guys know that. So if you're asking a question and the premise is, if he was so good, why aren't the players coming to his defense? Because Kevin Stefanski does a great job of never playing him, not even getting reps as the backup quarterback. And you guys run around and you act like we don't see that. How is he not proving himself? Oh, he doesn't get reps in practice and he's a backup quarterback. Unprecedented. We've shown you Canty talk about this. We've seen Joe Hayden be completely upset. How was he not getting? So when you try to come up and ask somebody about, oh, well, why is it that Shedeur's not getting reps? Somebody would have said something. Well, the beat reporters, they're at practice. They would. Oh, by the way, I told you the beat reporters don't watch practice too. They're prohibited to watch practice. They confirm such. So if the beat reporters don't see him at practice and they can only ask questions before and after, and the team doesn't see him play because he doesn't get any first team reps, then how is somebody supposed to jump on a table and yell and scream Shedeur should be playing when the coach has already hamstrung him and handcuffed him? How? That's a red herring. And as I said on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, it's not up to those players to be talking about jumping on the table. What kind of... Again, it's the same thing that you're trying to get me to do. Put your sources out there. Put your sources out there, G. Bush. Come on, just take the bait. So you want players in a losing season to get on the table and go to reporters and say, hey, Shedeur Sanders should be playing, so they can put their neck on the line for a coach that ain't going to do it, and then they already know he's already in the sauce? Who has ever done that? What player ever came out and said, hey, switch quarterbacks today? And then you would be talking about them. I mean, he needs to be traded because he's taking shots at the coach. I mean, he needs to stay in his place. He needs to worry about his job. Yeah, guys, you're not smart. Stop. Let's talk about this. This is the biggest and best part. Another story about this is, as I speak, let me talk to you about this. Here's another thing, too. Y'all cats, I don't know if y'all think y'all moving somebody, but there'd be a lot of people talking about, I don't know if you think you moving somebody, But I'm gonna do the content that I want to do. Y'all think y'all be so smart. You think that you gonna sub hate and sub. That's the biggest story and the only story for the Cleveland Browns. You think I'm about to come up here and talk about the offensive line? I might care about them dudes. They ain't no good. Bye. Let's get some new ones. You think I'm about to be up here talking about the defense's playing? I'm not doing none of that. The reason you want me to stop, hey, just talk about something else, because I'm hitting home runs. It's because I'm getting at the point, the heart of what it is. I don't care nothing about me feeling comfortable with nobody in that organization. You know what I want? I want the trophy. I want the Lombardi trophy. I want to win. I don't care about your progress, your draft picks, what we doing next week, this week, how many picks you got in the future, your stadium. I want the Lombardi trophy. I want to get it. That's the only thing that I care about. And if I got a quarterback that's sitting on the bench behind somebody that's not good, that can help me get it, that's what I want. I ain't got time for no patient stuff. And I don't got time to make you feel comfortable as no person and me coming here and blow smoke in your face and say life is great and the Browns are smart. They're not. Get rid of them. But you can step off the content. It's 1,000 other people to be pushing around. Step off the content, bro. Go watch something else. I done already told you, this ain't for everybody. I ain't trying to reach everybody. I ain't trying to save everybody. I already know that there's some people that's going to believe everything the Cleveland Browns say and do. I already know that some people, they're never going to quit the Cleveland Browns, even if it's the worst thing of all time. But guess what? Here's what we're going to do over here. As long as I'm still breathing and I'm still kicking and I still got content, I'm going to talk the truth. And if you don't like the truth, it is what it is. But you ain't never going to feel comfortable over here. So I'm going to give you about 10, 15 minutes while I drink this coffee. We can get my receipts ready so you can please go ahead and get up out of here. Because the content ain't going to change. It ain't going to change. Ever. I ain't never seen somebody be like, oh, well, he just does Shedeur. Listen, you think that I'm going to cover other stories that don't matter because you want to stop? Let me get another sip. You got a little bit of time. Sandra in. You're right, G. Bush. The touchdown by Gabriel in the Rams game happened during the second 2-minute drill. So he took Shedeur out and he wouldn't score during the same time in the game. I think it's funny how Dillon Gabriel was coming in at the end of games when Joe Flacco was the coach. You ain't gonna see that with Shedeur Sanders. But let me just tell y'all all this. From the people I talk to, it ain't gonna matter anyway. You got about one more game. And it ain't up to Kevin Stefanski. I'm going to let you know that right now. So he can die on that hill if he wants to. He's not going to have the power to even not put him in the game. He done already got stripped. He done already got finessed out of the play calling. So now when Shedeur get in the game, he don't even call the plays. It's Tommy Reese. And he sacrificed the play calling to give Dillon Gabriel a longer runway. They were so bad. He said, I'm going to sacrifice the play calling. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bank on the fact that we could beat the Jets, and that resets the clock for Dillon Gabriel. So as long as we win that football game, we got time. I bought myself another week. We lose to the Ravens, but it's another winnable game against the Raiders. We win that game. I reset the clock a little bit. Now I got the 49ers and the Titans coming. No. You sacrificed that playbook. And then what you didn't expect to happen was that you came out and laid the egg in one of the nastiest games of all time against the Jets, and you know what happened. Now you got the Ravens in the 4:30 game, and it's cold. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit. Let's get to these. Here is the funny thing about it. This is how you know they're just throwing stuff at the wall and making sure and hoping it stick. This is how you know. Let me put this back up to set it up. Name the source and admit that it's your personal opinion. Well, if you guys wouldn't listen to propaganda And if your attention span was longer than 3.5 minutes, and I get it, in America, we don't got very long attention spans. If you was to understand what we got going on, you would understand one or two things, wouldn't you? You would understand that these folks have already been on the record. They have already been on the record. If you would just understand and look, guys have been saying the way they felt about Shedeur Sanders playing since before the draft, after the draft, during camp, during all of it. So let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and start, right? Let's start national and work our way to the team. Maybe you guys will then get an opportunity to understand what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start with Mel Kiper. Because you guys like to run around and say, guys like to run around and say that it's only the Shedorians who thought he had a first-round grade. Mel Kiper is most called the godfather of the NFL draft, right? Huh? He ain't? Again, it's all, you guys, the internet is alive and well. Let's see what Mel Kiper has to say about Shedeur Sanders and see if you can comprehend that some people are saying this on the record. Here you go.
These two, Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, will be, from an experience standpoint, field ready as they can be for the National Football League. The schedule for Miami has been as easy can be.
Yeah.
And for Cam will do a lot of improv. In the NFL, you don't get 10 seconds to run around and do what you got to do. I mean, you got to be instantaneous. You got to see it, hit it, get it out. What he gets away with at Miami, you're not getting away with in the NFL. Shedeur has had to deal with a cluttered pocket, and a pocket that crumbles around him, and he takes hit after hit after hit. I love the fact that despite all the sacks, despite all the problems he's had to deal with in the pocket from an offensive line, if they aren't allowing pressures and sacks, they're holding penalties. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's getting hit. He's coming back, but he's not turning it over. Where he's been schooled throughout his life is in the pocket. There's going to be guys all over the place, left, right, up the middle. They're going to be behind you. They're going to be coming at you. Shedeur is able to do that. The seriousness of Shedeur, the toughness, I don't know if any quarterback can take the hits and keep coming back and not say, you're to blame. You're to blame. You got to get better. He just takes it all, and he just keeps coming back for more. Bottom line is, I love everything about Shedeur Sanders. I give the edge to Shedeur Sanders slightly over Cam Ward. In this draft, who are you going to put ahead of Shedeur?
Oh, so do you want me to name sources? Mel Kiper is a source. Maybe if you was a little, yeah, there you go. He said it on record, right? You hear what he said? Pocket presence, maturity, the exact opposite of what everybody else is saying. And he's not, and he ain't the only one who's saying this. Y'all want some more sources? Y'all want some more sources? Mel Kiper came back and doubled down on why Shedeur Sanders is courtesy ESPN, by the way. Came back and doubled down on why Mel Kiper thought Shedeur Sanders it's crazy that he's not playing.
Baker. You had Baker, who wasn't sure. Baker was winning. Baker almost had you in a Super Bowl.
Playoff game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, almost had you in a Super Bowl. To me, Baker should be in Cleveland. But when Cleveland had Baker Mayfield, and they hadn't had any success, they hadn't won anything, okay? Go back to 1999, no consistency at quarterback. 15 times since AFC North came in 2002, they finished in last place. 15 times in last place. Figure out Dylan Gabriel, that was Kevin Stefanski's guy. Shedeur Sanders, Andrew Barry brought in. I don't care what the league says. The league doesn't speak about.
Woo! You want sources? You want the sources? They was already there and in front of your face. They was all bring that back. You see what he said? I don't care what he said. Who been saying that from day one? Not only Mel Kiper said it on record, I've been told by behind the scenes that from day one. Huh? Let me get back to it.
Baker should be in Cleveland. But when Cleveland had Baker Mayfield, and they hadn't had any success, they hadn't won anything, okay? Go back to 1999, no consistency at quarterback. 15 times since AFC North came in 2002, they finished in last place. 15 times in last place. Figure out Dylan Gabriel, that was Kevin Stefanski's guy. Yep. Shedeur Sanders, Andrew Berry brought in. I don't care what the league says. The league doesn't speak about quarterbacks. They don't know any more than what you and I do field about quarterbacks, really. To me, let's see how it plays out the rest of the year. I hope Shedeur has a chance. And even if he gets in there, he might struggle. Does that mean he stinks? Does that mean he was overrated? No. Didn't 9 executives have him going for the number 1 quarterback back this same time last year?
9. It wasn't the Wizard of Oz or fairy tale guy. Look at the other 2 on the left-hand side. You got your marching orders. I be talking like this, and you always can tell whose faces is getting the marching order. Look at that on the left-hand side. Mel Kiper right now, look at the demonstrative nature. I'm into human nature. I'm into body language. Mel Kiper is bombastic. He's projecting. He's in his truth. And the other 2, come on, Mel, you know he ain't supposed to be talking about. That ain't what the marching order ain't 9. What?
Something like that. Yeah. What happened? Nothing happened on the field. All of a sudden, no, we're washing our hands of Shedeur Sanders. No, we don't want him. To me, the organizations ruin players. They ruin quarterbacks.
You want sources? Sources you shall have. Sources say you. G. Bush has sources. Per se. McShay say. Browns ruin quarterback time and time again. Little do you know. No, do you little? G. Bush, give us your sources. G. Bush, tell us who your source. Listen, if you were so lazy, you could have peeped the sources. Let's start. We working our way down. See, I didn't layer the receipts. I layer them up. That's a national perspective. Boom, high level. Let's get back to the player national vibe. Player national vibe, right? Y'all was aware of this, right? Y'all was aware of this. Let me pull this to the side. The Dogs podcast, the Dogs Cleveland Browns podcast. Shout out to them. Make sure you go check that out. Doing their thing over there. I like them young fellas. Chad Ochocinco shared what he's heard from the Browns players. Oh wow. Well, if you don't want to listen to little old me, if you don't want to listen to little old G. Bush, who's just a MAC defensive lineman who don't do nothing, didn't play in the league, ain't been in the game that long, even though my resume is tight, take it from a guy like Chad Ochocinco, right? Chad Ochocinco shared what he's heard from Browns players about Shedeur Sanders, including the opinion of a team captain. Dun, 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 dun. I talked to Denzel Ward. I don't know how big. You idiots. You're not even smart. If you're not going to be smart, at least don't be lazy. And let me just start by saying this. I ain't talking to nobody specific. Get out your feelings. I'm not giving nobody no more clout. I ain't talking about nobody specific. I'm talking about the overall general practices. Matter of fact, here's how we gonna move with this moving on. Don't ask me about nobody else. I'm telling you what G. Bush is telling you. I'm telling you what G. Bush talking about. I don't care what nobody else is talking about. When you come up over here, you reference what we talking about. I don't care nothing about what they doing. But I'm just showing you. I talked to Denzel Ward. Damn. I shouldn't say his name. No, you shouldn't, Chad. No, you shouldn't. But anyway, back to the lesson at hand. I talked to some people and Shedeur looked different. There's a difference when that young bull is out there spinning that ball. You hear me? I don't know how crazy. I don't know. Maybe do I got to put it in subtitles? Slow it down. Right? What's going on? See, maybe y'all don't know what spinning that football in young bull is, but maybe I can break it down for you. Ocho explained that players on the field in Berea say Shedeur has stood out, whether he's going with the first, second, or third team. Ocho explained that the players on the field seen all of the above. He looks different from the rest of the competition. That's what I heard. We've been saying this since June. You want some sources? Boom. There you go. Shed Ocho Cinco, source. Huh? There goes two. You don't want to believe the MAC defensive lineman? Just go to Chad Johnson, who's caught for 12,000, 13,000 in his league. Go to Mel Kiper, who just kind of breaks it down for a living. All right, let's keep it going. Maybe it gets, let's see what else we got here. This is let's get them like Chantel. 3,000 people in here. Let's get that like Chantel. There might be some people who came to check the receipts. They might not like what I'm saying right now. They must be in here just silent. But y'all can hit that like button too. Come on now. Oh, I got more. So we started with players, right? So you say, oh, G Bush, let me get that out the way. That was McShay and them. That don't count. Them is, they wrong sometimes. Okay. Well, let me get to Chad. Oh, listen, Ocho, say he ain't even in Cleveland like that. But he named names. Okay. It's hard to discredit him. Let's get to the players. Let's talk about some former players. Right? So if G. Bush don't talk to the players in the locker room, do you think Phil Taylor, former first-round pick of the Browns, Josh Cribb, Ring of Honor member, and Hanford Dixon, the top dog who created the dog pound, you think that they not hearing nothing either? Shout out to all those brothers. You think that they're not plugged in? Hanford Dixon or beat reporter, you put the name in there. I told you I ain't talking about nobody specific. Josh Cribbs or beat reporter? Who you think getting that intel? Huh? Let's talk about this. Hanford Dixon, shout out to them, courtesy of their podcast over there. Watch this.
Made the move. You go to Dylan. Shedeur's got to move up to number 2.
That's what I thought.
He's got to be number 2. You got to give, if Dylan is not doing it, he's not cutting it, not getting it done, you got to see what Shedeur can do.
You got to unload the clip.
Not go back.
I'm telling you, watch you see what I tell you.
You got to unload the clip.
Watch you see what I tell you. That boy gonna shock you.
I know. We already
It's in
know.
his DNA.
I'm for
I'm
it.
for it.
Yeah.
We already know.
Josh Cribb's wife is demonstrative. Is it any bigger? So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. So now we've discredited Mel Kiper. He don't count. We've discredited Ocho Cinco. So let's go ahead and discredit the guy who created the dog pound. The same place you go in the Muni line. We discrediting him too? Huh? These ain't run-of-the-mill people. And remember when I told you, slow it down, y'all don't even understand what I was saying the first time. These ain't no special teamers running down on kickoff. National pundits. Borderline Hall of Famers. Ring of Honor members for the Cleveland Browns. First-round draft picks for the Cleveland Browns. What? Hey, we got Rusty Wagner in here crashing out. Shout out to Rusty. And that means what? How many yards he cut? I want to see how, listen, Rusty, what I need you to do, I need you to figure out how you're going to discredit each one of these people. We got another one. This is a great game for us to play. Oh, man. Let's talk about this. Here's another guy. You know what sources?
Maybe we'll keep giving him the chance. I don't think he's the answer. I honestly, my particular opinion, because I don't want to seem like I'm just forcing Dylan out of there. Like, I want to give him a valid shot. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a very good quarterback. And I would like to give him a chance, but I'm like, if we go throw him in there, hopefully he's going to throw some more of these deep passes, like just the speed outs. He's not going to throw errant passes all the time, like some of what Dylan's doing. Like, I'm like, Dylan, come on, you're not throwing interceptions, but God damn it, hit me with a good out route. You know what I'm saying? And just hit him in the chest, so then we can keep walking forward. Like, he's throwing a couple of them, but like it just doesn't look as fluid to me. And I think Shedeur is way better at being able to throw some of those passes.
Yeah. That's Joe Hayden. Shout out to the Honor the Land podcast. Another Cleveland Brown first round draft pick. Yeah. Let me just tell you that. Let me just let you know. That's another person. You want receipts? I want names, G. Bush. Okay, let's get it going. It's Mel Kiper. It's Ocho Cinco. It's Hanford Dixon. It's Josh Cribbs and Josh Cribbs' wife. It's Phil Taylor. And on top of that, let me see. We got one more. Joe Hayden. So that's 6. I want the receipts. All right, here we go. So we're working our way down. We're working our way down to the situation. Let's get to this. So this is Nathan Segura. So if you don't care what they've done, I don't really care what they've done in the NFL. Let me go ahead and say this. Like, okay, so yeah, let's get to the guy who is on the Browns payroll. He is the broadcaster of the Cleveland Browns radio network. He does Cleveland Browns Daily. He is plugged in the organization as possibly given. This is what he had to say about Shedeur Sanders on the record.
Look good, though. His ball placement is Shedeur's look good, though. His ball placement is elite. His ability to layer throws is elite. I think he's got plenty of arm strength. We've seen that on display, certainly in camp at times. There's something about Shedeur. I got a chance to interview him. He is very confident, but not in a cocky way. Has a lot of belief in himself. I like him. I like the kid a lot. I was very into the Browns taking him in the first round. You know, in my tape study of him, to me, if you can be that accurate, he was so tough. He got beaten up in college. I mean, absolutely annihilated behind that line. Did he develop some bad habits? Sure. But when plays were clean, his ball placement is, I think, elite. And if you can be accurate with the football, deliver, and know where it's supposed to go, you can be very successful in this league for a long time, especially in this style of an offense.
So yeah. One by one. Yeah, this is somebody in an organization that's plugged in at the highest levels. Nathan Segura said he would take him in the first round. He talks about his elite ball handling, ball accuracy. I'm confused. You want a source? Nathan Segura. There you have it. He said it. You guys just don't get it, do you? Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't listen. Y'all be playing checkers way too much. So now I need in the chat, I need somebody to debunk what he's saying. I need somebody to discredit him. Maybe he's on the pay. Well, he is on the. He actually works for the Cleveland Browns at the highest level. At the highest level. Rusty, you're reverting to jokes. You need to rebuttal this, man. Come on now. Come on now. This is what he said. Listen, this is what he said before the company lines was issued. People been talking. I just want to remind y'all that people, when you're talking about people that nobody sees any quality characteristics. There's no skill set. He wasn't this, he wasn't that, he wasn't this. I'm just continue to show you. So now we almost here. Dang, you still got more people to show? How many people been on the record, G. Bush? Oh, it's a lot of you. Go look for it. Let's talk about this. Oh, this is before the season. Shout out to Greg Newsom. What'd he say? This was on the record. What you say about Shedeur?
Amazing.
What you say about Shedeur?
He's been amazing. A sponge, I would say. It's just crazy that a guy this young with this much notoriety can just handle media and things like that. I think his dad has really taught him how, to be that guy in the spotlight and understand that what comes with it. And I think he's been doing an incredible job of just learning and getting better each day.
I'm hearing words like incredible. Let's go ahead and do this. So let's continue to add and see what we got. Right? Like, you can troll away all you want, but this is the part that people been getting, and we passed the trolling. So when you ask who the sources is, throw Greg Newsom's name in there because he was on record saying it. Okay, we got another one. Dang, G. Bush, you still keep hitting, you still keep bringing them to the table? Huh? Let's talk about somebody who catches the football. So now we done got all over. You may say, well, Greg Newsom doesn't play no more. Greg Newsom doesn't play anymore. Hey, by the way, Rusty, we done giving you life. This not your show. You calm down, put your Hey, yeah, he doing too much. Yeah, put him on mute. Let him chill out a little bit. This ain't the Rusty Harden show. Shout out to you, Rusty. I do appreciate you, though. Let's get T-Book.
He did a great job, though. Saying completion, moving the ball down the field, scoring touchdowns. That's all you can ask for a quarterback. He's constantly growing each and every day, learning the offense, learning the scheme. And I'm excited for him. He got a bright future ahead of him.
As someone who.
Oh, really? 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's they like this is Jerry Jeudy. That's Jerry Jeudy, right? Okay, let's get to this. Add him to the list of people that we have as sources. Do I want the sources? I just wanted to put it up there.
He's funny. He's optimistic. He's lighthearted, but he works hard. He takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him during these preseason games and how he manages the offense. But I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
Oh my! So he does take his job seriously in his craft, huh? He does. He does, right? You want sources? Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Nah, man, we not. Hey. Yeah, no, we not doing. Hey, listen, we not doing that. Rusty not gonna be on the bottom line every single time. It's not the Rusty show. No, no. That's the point. That's the point I'm saying. You're not gonna make no. This is the thing. You got to be pinpoint serious about some of this stuff. I joke and laugh about a lot of different stuff, but that's the point they do. They want to make it a fun. They want to troll. They want to revert to trolling. Nah, there's a point behind this. Y'all need to stand and account for the games that y'all be trying to play. And when I'm showing these receipts, you're going to have to stand. You're going to have to stand here and chill on it. So here's how we going to move with this. Y'all wanted them? Here you go. Rebuttal this. You want sources?
Shedeur Sanders, as a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
The time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for his moment when he gets called up. And I appreciate that level of maturity and attention to detail. Let me play it again. So I don't want people to get it confused and understand that I was just glossing over stuff. No.
You want receipts? You want to know what people feel about it? Stop playing these little games with these folks and actually listen to what the player's been telling you from day one. They've been telling you this from day one. Again, who said it?
Shedeur Sanders. As a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for his moment when he gets called up. And I appreciate that level of maturity and attention to detail.
This is verifiable. Verifiable. Huh? The part is y'all thought y'all was going to distract from what we was talking about. And it was never about whether somebody was standing up for Shedeur. If he was great, people would have been speaking out. People have been speaking out from the jump street. But the problem is y'all think y'all can control the narrative so tough that you can say whatever you want and there's no accountability for it. But you just mad because I'm giving that level of accountability. And at this point, we don't care if you're upset, or we don't care if you're uncomfortable, or we don't care if you don't believe it. We don't care what you're talking about. We moving forward. That's what we doing. And you can try to stop and obfuscate and dance and do this and do that. We don't care. Because you ain't got enough momentum. You ain't got enough receipts. You ain't got enough energy. You ain't got enough propaganda to continue to come on and rebuttal all this. Because for everything that I'm saying, it's airtight, case closed. What are we talking about here? You thought you was going to get me to come on here and tap dance around? I not only came on here and told you I ain't going to play around with y'all, and you think you slick. I'm going to show you every single time that people say, from the national to the local to the play-by-play to the former Browns to the current Browns to the people in the locker room to the... Say that again, C.A. Anderson. You want a source? I'm a source. My source is 2 eyes that I seen. My source is at practice. My source is I know more than you. My source is you ain't lifted no weights. You ain't never played no football. You don't watch no film. You ain't never seen no football games. You ain't even going to football games. You be at the Muni Light. You don't even be at the Muni Light. You be in your house in the basement talking garbage with one jersey. Talk about you paying for everybody's. You ain't paying for nothing. You got one jersey, taping backs on it. You talk about what you know. Guess what? At the end of the day, big dog, we giving you life. We giving you a platform. But y'all cats don't want to take it. Just take the layup. Just take the layup. If you want to know who my sources are, they're the same sources that everybody has been talking about since day one. And what we're not going to do is we're not going to distract from the lesson at hand. You've received your marching orders. I understand you got the marching orders. But this is the last stand. And the Ravens game got crazy potential for it to get ugly for Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel. Because now people are starting to realize that, you know what? You know what? They're aware. They are aware that Stefanski be putting all this stuff out. The most dangerous person in the world is somebody that don't care. When people don't care to continue to argue with you because it's evident, it's a shame that this is happening. This is a shame right in front of your faces. It's a shame. But guess what? It's happening. You've seen what it is with Dillon Gabriel. You see what I said? I said it on UCSS. I'm not going to sit here and stop pretending. My point is, I don't have the patience to continue to wait till everybody comes around to see the light. I don't care to. because I was the first one saying he's not that good. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. He was never that good. He was never getting that off. So, no, I'm not giving you the common courtesy to finally wind down the clock and figure out if Dillon Gabriel is good or not. It's not. He's not. We know it. But the problem is Kevin Stefanski is willing to hold your team hostage. He's willing to handcuff you. He's willing to go in here and talk about Dillon is trying to get better. The bottom line is Kevin Stefanski knows his days are numbered. And he's going to do everything he can to kick and scream and fight and swing at the air and make a point and do whatever it is. But the great thing about it is when Shedeur gets into the football game, and it's a matter of time before it happens, he won't be calling the plays. Great job. You stand over there with the challenge flag or your timeouts or whatever you want to do. I don't know what you would do at that point. As an offensive coach who continues to give your playbook over twice, I don't care about it. Like you're just not a good coordinator. You think he'll get a job next week? Is that what Kevin told you to say? People around the league or Dan Orlowski, shout out to Dan. Hey, Brian Dable, I would get Kevin Stefanski. How would you get Kevin Stefanski over Brian Dable when he actually picked the right quarterback? One pick Jackson Dart, one pick Dillon Gabriel. You want Brian Dable's offense has been explosive, more explosive than him at every stop in college and the pros. Guess what? They fired Brian Dable. You want to get Jackson Dart would go to the front office and say, I never liked the dude anyway. I'm not coaching up under Kevin Stefanski to run this high school rudimentary bootleg offense. Guys out here running around talking about what he would be doing. Hypothetically, G. Bush, where are all the guys supporting? Guys, listen, hypothetically, let's stop and talk about who they don't support. They don't support Dillon Gabriel at quarterback, and they don't support Kevin Stefanski. Guess what? That's already been known. I didn't say that. My man Jason Lloyd said defensive players, some of them is already out. You want sources? He said that on the record. He said some people on the offense still rock with Kevin. Defense, not so much. Come on, man. I'm just keeping it a buck. So what we got to start understanding is this stuff like this. How I'm moving. This has never been about what people believe. They don't believe none of that. The proof is in the pudding. I told you what keeps you on that football field is your game. That's it. Not story time, not what people think, not what people in the news behind the scenes want to say, not throwing these little stories with this G. Bush. No, listen, you know what G. Bush knows? G. Bush knows that Dillon Gabriel is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and he's going to be coming out soon. G. Bush also knows that Kevin Stefanski's record on the field is trash, and the owner said he ain't taking 3 wins. Ain't even gave up the plays 2 years in a row, and his offense is terrible. He's on the way out. So that's all I need to know. And while you sitting there talking about Kevin Stefanski and all this other stuff, that stuff is right in front of you on the field, and you can't escape it. You can't run around it. You can't write novels and stories about it. We're going to get a chance to see it on Sunday, and guess what? If it don't look good, bye-bye. So you can try to attack what I'm saying. You could be in the comment section all you want, but it don't change what happens on Sunday afternoons. And you'll be one of the people that disappear on Sunday because the game don't look good. By Monday, you watch all and listen to everything you're saying. By Tuesday, you hope that the national media or somebody locally comes to save Kevin and tell you why it ain't that bad. And then by Wednesday, you in the chat charged up like Drake and Meek Mill talking about why it ain't that bad and why Kevin needs to be here and where we're going to, who's your coach if you're going to fire somebody, our quarterback's in 26, and you be back spitting the same old nasty narratives because they told you to. But that's okay. You're entitled to that. But it don't change none of that. They don't change none of that. because it actually matters what happens on the football field. I've told you that countless times. It actually matters. Matters. And as much as you tell people it don't, people are tuning in millions of times over. That's the thing that really has smacked people in the face. The general public woke up. They understand the game plan. The NFL makes a lot of money by creating a 24-hour news cycle. That 24-hour news cycle comes at the disadvantage to non-stories. Because to make a 24-hour news story, you actually have to make up something. If there is no games happening, what articles are you writing? If it's the off season, if there's no games happening, there is nothing has happened from the last time I saw you play to then. What happened? And if nobody is speaking up or saying anything, you now have room to fill in the gaps. And filling in the gaps ain't really that fun if you're actually being truthful, right? Filling in the gaps really don't, like, there's a little sensationalism that goes on with filling in the gaps. And that is why the NFL has one of the greatest followings, because it's a soap opera, it's mixed with a sport, it's high price, it's 24 hours news cycle, and you can create these things to continue to grow interest into the game. But remember, the most important things is them games on the field. And them narratives that you got can never trump what happens on the field. It is what it is. Now, let me also tell you about this, too. I always say this. And I've been talking to some people before about, supporters of Shedeur Sanders, and I've been trying to, educate them. Y'all got to realize, and we all have to realize this, and I'm not speaking like directly at you. You know what I'm saying? What I try to do is be a conduit. Is that I've always said from the beginning, beware of the traps that they pull. A lot of what the media does is they try to generate shock, awe, thought-provoking topics, emotion. And so when you are talking about certain things and you see certain people talk about certain stuff, they don't necessarily believe that. They might not even necessarily agree with what they just said. But that's just part of what we're talking about as we transition and talk about the media. And the one thing that I always realized was, and I was just reading a story the other day, and me and my wife was talking about the Exodus in the Bible, and Moses leading people out of Egypt. And the one thing about the Exodus was the people who saw the miracles performed, the plagues, the parting the Red Sea, in the desert, all of those things that they saw firsthand knowledge of the way God was moving with them. It got to a point where those people took those things for granted. And God was miffed. Moses was miffed. He said, how could you see God move in a way that you saw miracles firsthand? It wasn't secondhand knowledge. It wasn't third-hand knowledge. It was right in front of you. Right there. It was in front of you. Inexplicable. But when you saw that, the second it got tough, the second it got hard, the second it got a little uncomfortable, you said, I would rather go back to Egypt. Well, at least in Egypt, we had meat. I'm tired of manna from heaven. I'm tired of that. Huh? This is the same person that brought you out of captivity. Hundreds of years you was in captivity. And your ancestors prayed. And you got delivered. But sometimes you got to realize that when you understand that when something is a trial is in front of you and you see how the Lord move, you got to respect that. You got to honor that. And the Israelites at the time didn't. They murmured, they complained. And God said, you know what? I'm going to let you walk around in the wilderness 40 years. 40. Walking in the, and that was an 11-day journey. 11 days. They was right next to the promised land. But you know what? The wilderness wasn't a place just to teach them a lesson. The wilderness wasn't a literal place, even though it was. You know what the desert was? That was the proving grounds. The desert was the place where God purifies you. He puts you through stuff. That's the trials and the tribulations. He puts you through to see, because it's not about where you at right now. But if you want to get to your promised land, you got to be purified and you got to go through the desert. You got to go through that. Because the person that they're supposed to inhabit the promised land is not the person that came out of captivity. So when we talk about a different level of stuff that's going on, and we talk about things that happen all around you, you almost at the promised land. You almost there. You standing there looking at it right now. Look at the things that have happened inexplicably. You was fourth on the depth chart. Then all of a sudden, somebody pulled their hamstring. Pickett's gone. Joe Flacco, inexplicably, in this offense, looked terrible. They moved to Dylan Gabriel. That's crazy work. Then they trade Joe Flacco in the middle of the season to the Bengals, and then Joe Flacco come out throwing for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards. Huh? Inexplicable. Then you get to a point Dylan Gabriel's playing. We'll see what he's going to do. Y'all say, oh, Kevin Stefanski, I don't even know if I want him doing, I don't even know if I want him throwing the ball with Stefanski. Well, Stefanski gave up play calling. Inexplicably. Paul DePodesta, who's the analytics guru, just takes a job in the middle of the year and leaves. Really? Andrew Berry all of a sudden is like, you know what? I think I'm a rock with Shedeur, and you can keep Dylan. You saw all them things right in front of your face, inexplicably. So sometimes what you got to understand is you right at the gate, you right at the doorstep, you sitting right there. All you got to do is wait your turn, and while you in the desert, cultivate your faith, cultivate your skill, cultivate your talent, cultivate your plan, so that when you get to the promised land, you ain't got to get ready. You already ready. And what y'all don't understand, and this is tough, but I always tell people, if you say you rocking with Shedeur Sanders, you got to keep the same energy as Shedeur Sanders. If you say you rocking with Prime, ask yourself what Prime would say. I don't think Prime wanted to have cancer, but he had to go through the wilderness. I don't think Shedeur Sanders thought that he was going to sit down and be maligned and talked about and all that good other stuff, right? But guess what? He had to go through the wilderness. And when he get in a football game, he ain't going to throw for 5,000 yards the first day. You know why? Just like anybody else, you got to go through the wilderness to get to the promised land. Everybody got to go through it. This is a deeper lesson than what you want to hear. The deeper lesson involved is sometimes God will teach you a lesson in your life and what you're supposed to be doing. Some of y'all is right at the promised land, and you can get there tomorrow, but you're not working through your problems. You're in the wilderness, and you're not focusing on what you're supposed to be focusing on. That trial and tribulation is where you're supposed to be at. And until you get to a point where you can really, truly trust and lock in, you ain't never going to get to the promised land. So no, you're not getting traded out of the wilderness. You don't just ask for a trade and go somewhere else and it's going to be better. You don't trade yourself out of sickness and illness. You don't trade yourself out of going through financial problems, or you're having problems in your marriage. You don't just get to trade your way out of it. And so the wilderness is where you winning. The wilderness is it is essential to the promised land. You can't fast forward none of that. Shedeur Sanders is working on, he developing a personal relationship with the God he said he served. Because at some point in time, the Bible talks about coming out from amongst your mother and father. I get that they got a lovely story, but Shiloh gonna have to find God for what he is. Shedeur gonna have to find God for what it is. Coach Prime gonna have to learn that, listen, I'm his son, I'm his father. I can't protect him everywhere. I can't pull up to stop him. I can't reprimand everybody. I got to let him grow and be a man in what God want him to do. And once you go through that wilderness, and when you be in the wilderness and you come out, you gonna have a certain level of armor. You're gonna have a certain level of perspective because you done went through it. Nobody gave you nothing. That's the reason they say, G. Bush, why you be talking that talk? I'm not talking that talk because I'm sitting here and I and me and him, and no, it ain't about that. I understand that if I stay on point with what God is telling me to do, ain't nothing gonna come harm to me because I'm lined up with what he telling me to do. Lined up. I pray, take all of that other stuff away. Take it away. You show me what I'm supposed to be doing today. Not what G. Bush want to do, because G. Bush, don't trust me. I want to do receipts all the time. But you can't do receipts sometimes. Sometimes God say, shut your mouth. Be still. Let me fight your battle. Be humble. Be quick to agree with your adversaries. Be quick to pray for those who pray in your downfall. You ain't no better. If you serving me, you got to follow. I forgave everybody. You be sinning every single day, and I forgave you. So you better be forgiving everybody else. If you say you gonna follow. I'm sorry. I know it ain't Sunday. I'm just giving you where I'm going with you. So in life, we got an idea about where we want to go and how we want to do stuff. But to truly get there, you got to understand that you ain't the vehicle. He's the vehicle. Give up the steering wheel. Give up the control. Give up all of the extra stuff. Because only when you give that up, you will come through the wilderness and truly be in the promised land. We're going to get to some of that. I want to thank everybody for pulling up on me this morning. I'm going to thank y'all for pulling up. I want to say congratulations to my wife. That's why I love talking about this stuff, right? Because life happens. So my wife became an American citizen yesterday. And you know what's so funny is because, as an American, we grew up in this country. And we take a lot of things for granted. And she went and we went and did for me, I'm like, dude, come on, man. You married to me. What do you mean? You about to, we've been smooth sailing. What you talking about? But as an immigrant, right, I never understood this. So I go to the meeting and we pulled up and Rosie is in there and I see a bunch of people, families, mixed families, babies, kids. And I saw the look on their faces. And it hit me that these people is this is the most important day of their life. And to see you go in and talk to some of these immigration, and shout out to them, they did a really good job, and they're really professional. It's definitely not what people make it out to be. But those individuals only want a shot. They only want to be. They only want to be a person that contributes to this country. And to see her face to say, she called her brothers and sisters and said, you know what? I'm finally a citizen. I'm finally a citizen. That's crazy to me, because she, for the first time, I seen so much pride that she had. The rest of the day, she was kind of, the rest of the day, she was kind of like, just didn't believe it. And that's how much it meant to her. And so, you know, there's a lot of different things coming from, you know, hearing the story, coming from a place where we talk about all the time back in the history, sharecropping. I mean, she worked in the fields, picking crops and corns and walking miles to the store to sell them in the square circle to the people. And if they didn't sell enough, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't sell enough, they couldn't eat. You know, being dark because you got to go back to the mountains, and then sleeping on the floor at somebody's house because they wouldn't even, they were so poor that they thought they was dirty and they didn't want them sleeping nowhere else. So they let them sleep on the floor. No electricity, no running water. So even those, you know, there's things that we all go through. And everybody's journey is different. I was just really humbled to see the way she, you know, she was really one of the happiest days. I mean, we got married before. And she was really happy, but she was that one of the happiest I've ever seen her yesterday. So I'm super happy for her. I'm happy for her family, and I'm happy she has, you know, a great. She actually has peace of mind. So I appreciate that. And then yesterday was great because it was my birthday. So the immigration hearing was on my birthday, right? So I had my birthday, and I want to thank everybody out there for sending the shout outs and then wishes for my birthday. And I always say, and this is another testament to the industry. And I always tell people, we may have a disagreement about certain things, and we may have disagreements about, I don't know, sports or whatever the case may be. But there is a testament. Even the people that you may think, oh my goodness, I heard from every single person that we ever talked about here on this show, or I done mentioned, or we talked, every one of my colleagues from around the industry, all of them say, you know what? Happy birthday, G. Bush. Man, we appreciate what you are, what you do, how you move. We want to thank you for your heart and what you, because we know that your intentions and how you move is honorable. So even if you know, people talk about Anthony Lyman. Lyman was one of the first people to reach out to me. Ken Carmen, one of the first people to reach out to me. Nick Wilson, first people. Jay, Bull, McNuggets, everybody on UC, that goes without saying. Mary Kay, that goes without saying. But what I'm saying to you is, don't let stuff get in your way. Don't let that perceived stuff get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, this is a game. You know what I'm saying? This is a football game, and you talking about what we'll be talking about. At the end of the day, there's way more things important than yesterday. I figured that out. It's a lot of things more important. My wife wasn't caring about no money or none of that. She was just happy that she was an American citizen, which, you know, on my birthday was a special day. So I appreciate everybody that reached out, showed love, and we appreciate y'all support in general. So let's get to some super chats, right? Let's get to some super chats. Man, oh Lord, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know there was that many. I didn't know. I didn't know. Oh man, let me pull. We appreciate y'all. Let me pull this back up. Let me see. All right, here we go. Let me bear with me here. And bear with me. Jeremy Shepler, we thank you so much for the super chit sticker. We appreciate you so much. FB Tings, happy birthday, my man. Shout out, man. Let me tell you something. Hey, let me let y'all know something right now. I met FB Tings, right? He reached out to me yesterday off the record and said, happy birthday, big bro. We was talking back and forth. And that young dude, he going places, bro. He got it. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He got it. He's talented. He's humble, smart. He's a great speaker. He understands the game. He understands how he needs to walk. And to be truthful with you, man, I'm more happy for all the other people out there. I'm happy for all the content creators because I want to see everybody rock. I want to see every single person out there win. I want to see Quincy Carey win. I want to see Tyvis win. I want to see Earl of Pearl win. I want FB Tings to win. I want Big Snacks to win. I want B Watts to win. Right? I want all, if I'm missing Matty Dubs, I want all Dogs Podcast. You know why I mention their name? Is because I believe in independent content and I believe in young dudes going there, getting out the mud on that internet. They the new wave. You know what I'm saying? When I came up, I felt like Harry Tubman. I couldn't buy no job. Couldn't get nothing. They told me no at every turn. So I had to go. The only place I had to go was the internet. But the way these dudes is breaking it down, and specifically him, I salute him, man. Make sure you going out and you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you check him out. I appreciate he pulled up on one of my members only pods. Speaking of members only, yeah, I might want to pull up, man. We got a special guest in the building. We got Josina Anderson pulling up Tuesday, 7 p.m. Josina Anderson, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Members only. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into journalism. We're gonna get into her journey as a woman of color, as an African American woman, being a trailblazer, being one of the first people we seen on TV, right? She's sourced up as they come. I want to hear her journey as a businesswoman. It's gonna be very powerful, and that's what we're trying to do on our channel over there. We're trying to bring you stories. We're trying to uplift you. We're trying to bring you some edification, some stuff that'll really get you thinking, right? We just ain't over there gossiping. We over there trying to really build some things and to tell impactful stories to give you some meaning and motivation to your everyday. So make sure you check that out. If you want to be a member of that, you can hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the join button. Also, we just got done again. Tyvis Powell, me and myself, we just did our members only film breakdown. We'll be back doing that too. So if you want to watch Shedeur Sanders and you want to know what it is, because guess what? You'll probably be playing. Or you want to see what Dylan Gabriel talking about? Or when I say, come on, Wyatt Taylor, you getting destroyed up front. You can do that because we break that down on Wednesday. So make sure if that's what you want to get into and you feel like there's a piece of where you want to get more content, it's available for you. But if not, just hit the like button. Daniel King G. Bush, I was ready to loose it on them yesterday. I need you to flatline the reckless work they was trying to put out there. I think we did a good job. Daniel King, I think we did a good job, right? So we appreciate you pulling up and peeping that. Selmo Fudd says, G. Bush, happy belated birthday. I heard you went viral. Yeah, man. And I didn't even understand the viral nature of it. I was so confused when I was at home because I got back from the immigration hearing. I was like, why am I going viral? Like, why would you go viral if you're a media member that's been working in the industry I've been doing this since 2010. It's 2025. It's 15 years. I don't know why would that be viral that I had people that reach out to me. That just goes to show you. Stay tuned. Happy belated birthday, G. Bush. Thank you so much. I appreciate you pulling up. Another Skywalker. Thank you so much, my guy. Happy birthday, G. Bush. We must protect G. Bush at all costs, y'all. Here's what we're going to say. I appreciate that. But we know what we got to do. We got to protect each other. Got to protect each other's peace, protect each other, and uplift the people. And most importantly, may God protect us all. J614, happy belated birthday. Tell Ross to stop coming on that energy, laughing about potentially ruining a man's career. It was weird seeing that, especially knowing the injuries, the injuries you had. Let me tell you, a lot of people reached out to me about this, right? So I'm gonna try to give you something in terms of where I come out with that. First of all, I don't ever condone hurting people, try to bounty people. And when he was, when he went into that story, a lot of people say, you laughed. I said, sometimes some certain things could be so shocking that you kind of, all you could do is laugh. You're like, dang, like, because you hearing firsthand, like, people that got a level of vitriol like that for another person just because they are who they are. And I've been on record multiple times saying, look, bro, I don't even think people can really be mentioning Prime like that, bro. From my perspective, because of who he is in our community, because of who he was as a player. Like, this is one of the greatest players of all time. This was one of the dudes who was one of the first people with a Nike deal, one of the first people to play 2 sports. Not only that, I like, as a man, and I could only speak for me. I always keep trying to tell y'all, I can't speak for everybody. All I can do is speak for who I am, what my principles are, and what I believe in. I happen to be on a lot of different platforms, and I always tell people, I can't be the person who every single time something happened, I gotta take charges, or I gotta make sure that I gotta say this or I gotta say that. That's not the point. That's not the place. And to be truthful, ain't my place. All I can do for people is to tell you what I feel and to give you the way I feel in my heart about certain things. And it's up to the community, it's up to the people to see what resonates and what fits. If I told you 100 times how I feel, you shouldn't need to be reminded about that 1,000 times. Because I've been consistent. I've been consistent on how I feel and where I roll with. And people have to be accountable for the things that they say or how they want to say it. That's up to them. So for me, when it comes to Coach Prime, first and foremost, he's a cancer survivor. Second of all, I respect what he did on the field. Third of all, I respect him because of his faith and the man he is, and I respect the way he treats his community and the way he go about his business and disciplining and coaching and doing all them things. He raised all of his sons. His sons ain't never been to no jail. His sons ain't never did nothing crazy. Nothing. So for me, I respect Coach Prime and everything that he stands for. Everything, all of it. I respect him to the nth degree. And I feel like there's a lot of people who don't like Prime, and that's on them. And they're going to have to deal with why they don't like him for whatever reason they don't like him. But at the end of the day, I can only stand on what I can stand on. And that goes for a lot of people. It's a season of, it's a season for everything. And right now, my season is, I'm talking about me. I'm focused on me. I'm focused on what I stand for, what I believe in. And if I want to change something, I'm going to put my energy into doing that. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know. I hope that answers your question, but it is, everybody gonna have an opinion and they're entitled to it. If you don't agree with that opinion, that's up to you to express that. But in terms of me and how I feel, you should know where I feel. And if you want to ask me, I'll tell you how I feel, right? But I appreciate the super chat, my guy. Meshach, happy birthday, G. Bush collab with Simply Ball Dropping on YouTube. I think I done reached out to him too. I think we got something in the works too. I'm I'm into collaborating. I got a lot of things pulling up. I got a lot of things jumping. Y'all want to see something? Hit me up. People know, hey, if you want to collab, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Cash Money. Cash Money did not lose to No Limit. But I just want to say happy birthday. I enjoyed the show. Cleveland is going to be in parking lot tailgate. Man, Cash Money did not lose. Here's the thing. I don't think they lost. I just feel like the energy was a little different. I think, see, Versus is a thing. So Versus is, first of all, nobody really loses in Versus because it brings awareness to legacy acts. It gets people back popping. People start touring again. The reality of the situation, when Wayne didn't show up, it was rough. Wayne didn't pull up, and he was sick. It was some discrepancies. But you got to understand, if it was just Cash Money versus No Limit, there's 2 or 3 people that wasn't there. When you don't have Mystical there, that's tough. When you don't have Lil Wayne there, that's rough. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of, but the thing about it is, if Cash Money was to say, we're not even gonna do that because I got Nicki and Drake and Tiger, it's done. You can't like that. Ain't nobody seeing that. We got Wayne, Nicki, Tiger. We're not doing that. I get what you're saying. It's Cash Money versus them, but if Lil Wayne is just there, they still lose that. But I think their stage presence was a little better. I liked that they was more unified. But catalog wise, Cash Money's catalog is better. E216, they just mad that you got juice. Keep your foot on their neck. They can't stand on business. Happy birthday, fam. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you as well. Brody's bottom line was wild. Jason called Deshaun Watson a predator without evidence against him yesterday is nasty work. Again, hey, man, you want to know my take on Deshaun Watson? I've always said it. You know, my take, I only give you what I give you, is that in the United States, when you are acquitted by 2 grand juries, then you are acquitted of those crimes. They didn't even take you can indict a ham sandwich. My thing is, and I'm gonna just keep it real. You know, there's a lot of people running around calling predators and all that other good stuff. But there's people that's running our whole country that could be called the same. There's people like Trevor Bauer. There's people like Duke Lacrosse. I'm sure people was running around calling people Duke Lacrosse people predators, and then it was found out that it was not true. The way I go about this is I don't really play about that. I'm really cautious about what I call and how I call people, because it's easy that one day or someday or any day somebody could pull up and say something about you, and then all of a sudden everything that you worked for, you stood for, don't even count no more because somebody decided to say something. I think in our country, you should be innocent until proven guilty. And until that, I don't throw the predator word around a lot. I'm just saying that's my opinion. Me, G. Bush. Sandra N., thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. C.A. Anderson, my guy, I appreciate you. Happy birthday, my brother. Thank you so much for becoming a member, staying a member for 1 month. We appreciate you, man. Matthew Cherry. People don't realize players aren't going to share info with fence riders. You, Tyvus, Nick, Earl, Nick, Jonathan, Peterlin would be the only ones to get into cause. Y'all don't switch up. Everyone else flip-flops for clicks. And here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little insight, Matthew. Like Jonathan said, I've been getting DMs. And messages since 2014, 2015. Like, I mean, this is not new. Like, I don't understand why this was even a thing. And the reason that people mess with me is because out of all of this stuff going on with Deshaun Watson, with Baker Mayfield, with Myles Garrett, with Shedeur Sanders, with Kevin Stefanski. How many times have I jumped up and down and said sources? I never put my flag on the source game. I never came out and said I'm the most sourced up dude in the world. As a matter of fact, I told people at one point in time, I don't do sources. All these people reach out to me. I don't need no sources. Like somebody said, I'm my source. I watch film. I break stuff down. This is my opinion. I stand on my business. So I don't need somebody else to co-sign what I'm talking about. There's all kind of stuff that I hear daily. And guess what? Some of it you can't even corroborate. Some of it don't really have a relevancy to what we're talking about. Some of it is cool, but what purpose does it serve if I was to say that? You see what I'm saying? You got to be judicious about what it is anyway, because some of it don't even really make no sense. Who cares? Like if somebody says, I got a source that says something about something that happened 3 years ago, does anybody care what happens 3 years ago? No. They ain't about to play the Ravens this week. What are we talking about? So it was always confusing to me why that was even a thing. I'm like, everybody got people talking to them, bro. It's the internet, bro. Everybody got a source at some point. We don't be jumping up and down like it's. Sometimes people be acting fanish, bro. Like, no disrespect. And I'm not saying this like, if a player tell me something, right? Is that changing how successful I am? Does that change my work ethic? Does that change how much money how I'm going? Like, how does that change anything? I mean, somebody says something. Okay. How you turn that into something? That don't mean nothing. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to do what I do. Like, that doesn't give us no more money. Some people be coming at us from a fan perspective, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so who I think is way up here, text this person. Stop. No, no one wants to be more famous than rich. Like, what you talking about? Cash money. Orange seats is destiny for Stefanski, for destiny of Stefanski's Browns. Them orange seats is coming. I'm gonna tell you what, this game coming up against the Ravens, it's gonna be nasty work. People's already hedging in bets. Baltimore got to win the games. Lamar Jackson is in here, and it's a 4:30 game. People gonna see it too. It's a second game. I'm like, it's a 4:30 game. Terrence Levy became a YouTube member today. We appreciate you for joining the family. Appreciate that. Jeremy Shepler. Let's make this dude's famous family. I just want to do my little show and chill out and hang out. I want But I appreciate your support. There's a price to fame, right? A big price. Squizarm. It's only an issue because it directly contradicts Mary Kay sources. Ain't nobody talked to her for real, and you proved it, G. Bush. Keep doing you. I mean, I always thought like this. Mary Kay got sources. If she didn't hear that, that's cool. Maybe she didn't hear that. But why does that have to be a negative about what I heard? See what I'm saying? Why does that discount? If one person didn't hear something, but I heard something, why does it mean that we might not talk to the same people? Again, I'm confused. Hopefully after you read this blog and you listen to this, you'll be like, man, I don't know what the heck they was talking about. G. Bush broke this down like a regular person and was like, yeah, you're right. Why wouldn't he? Right? Deanna Curtis, happy birthday, G. Bush. God bless you. And many more. Deanna, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for becoming a member and staying a member 1 month. I appreciate all of your support and the birthday wishes. John Schaff says exactly. It's not what's being said. It's about who's saying it. Who's that blank on that? I don't know what that means. Proud of you, G. Bush. Oh, I get what she's saying. Django. Proud of you, G. Bush, for having a backbone. Like, and then people are like, I always think it would be funny because I came out and said, hey, bro, look. I mean, I've been doing this since 2010. No knock to nobody, but You acting like I'm just a dude from like broadcasting school that just pulled up yesterday. Like, I do have a radio show. I do a bunch of different things in the industry. Like, not like I'm, no disrespect, but I'm just being like, what? Like, how? Yeah. Remember, Ocho Cinco said Denzel Ward said it looked different. Players are talking. Simply Stephanie, thank you so much for the super chat. Yep, we went over that. We went right over that. We pulled that right on up. G. Bush, who are your sources? Well, according to Ocho Cinco, who was on the record, there it is. I don't think it's rocket scientist. Cornelius Young, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. DeMonte Williams, G. Bush Army riding with you until the wheels fall off. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. And here's the thing, too. Hey, look, like, let's get two things squared away here. Always remember this, and I want y'all to always remember this. Hey, bro, I ain't infallible. I am a human, a sinful human who has all of the nasty characteristics that we all have. You think I'm going to be perfect all the time? You think I can't get in my emotions and be wrong? Yeah. So what I'll ask you over here, and there's the one thing that separates this platform from every other platform. I tell you, I encourage you, do your research, cultivate your own personal opinion, and bring it to the table. You do not have to be, this is a state-run media. You don't have to agree with me 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for you to be a part of this community. This community is about open discourse, and we don't, listen, we just talk, shout out to what's the name? Where Wagner at? Right? We don't mute or silence people. We go right along with it. We don't got no problem with nobody saying G. Bush's name in public or in private. Listen, you know what? Ask how many, you know how many accounts we go around here? People reach out to me and say, yo, G. Bush, your clips is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Your shows that you be doing. Like, you mind if I use your clips? Ask around. Ask anybody who has ever, ask one person, have they ever got a copyright strike messing with G. Bush? Y'all want to cut, clip, do whatever y'all want up, there, it's all good. I hope it's prosperous. I hope it worked for you, bro. Blessings. I hope it's prosperous. It's verifiable. Ain't nobody I know that got G. Bush shorts, clips, cut-ups, segments. Ain't nobody getting copyright. You know why? I don't play like that. I ain't no hater. I'm not no sucker. Even if you want to use my clips and say G. Bush was wrong here, here, and here, have at that. I'm all for the discourse, right? I ain't running for no smoke at all. That's how we move. So that's the difference between what we do and how we move over here. You can disagree with me all you want. I encourage you to. And that's the levels. That's why we do what we do. But I appreciate your support, though. And I do you're a smart man if you agree with me. I'm 85% right all the time. So, Yoshi Doshi 2006, work ethic. 4 years ago, I started writing Shadow Force Dawn of Legacy. I now have 3 books. 2 have been published in 2025, 6 in production. Age doesn't matter. Hard work pays off. Keep chasing your dreams. Shout out to you. And that ain't him mentioning his resume. That's motivation. One of the things that I always admired in people was, hey, man, he wrote a book. Some people think it's crazy that I could get up in here and talk for 4 hours with no notes and actually remotely stay entertaining. I admire people that are able to do things like that, write books. You know how, listen, man, I had a 40-page dissertation that I needed to do to graduate out of business school. And I procrastinated. Let me tell you something. You don't know how many pages it is that they tell you, I need 40 pages, single spaced. By the time you get to 10, you like, man, this is a lot. You stretch and get to 20. By the time you get to 20, you feel like you in the forest running around, walking in circles with no compass. Because you like 40 pages is a lot. So anybody that got novels, I respect the heck out of you. Daniel King, tell Lima, all these fabricated lines, they go equal up to this real. You know what? He did. I shout out to him. I texted with him the other day. Grown man bars is something you're going to have to deal with. Man, you're right. Now, by the way, Daniel King, who started grown man bars? Was it Goods or Rex? People forget Goods had GMB. GMB, he did. Right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Rex. Rex don't get a lot of credit he deserved. Double D giving them the large picture. Hoodie Lux. Hoodie Lux. I'm telling you. All them hospitals giving beds out. First smack back. Got to get back smack. If you know, you know. All first verse. All first verse. Let's keep it moving. Pac Wesley. Pac Wasili? Poke Wasili. This is, I don't know, but I appreciate you. People saying Shedeur not ready, but there's a video out there of Mary Kay of Shedeur dancing right before practice. Why would he be dancing in practice if he's not balling? He's balling and dancing on them. Losers don't dance in practice. Gangsters don't dance, they boogie. Yeah, bro. Shedeur got that. He's loving life right now, man. Bro, listen. He's starting to lock in. He's starting to see that promised land. He's starting to see them gates. He's starting to actually see the path to the field. I got to get ready. He's starting to see it and understand it. And Tommy Reese is calling the plays. He need to be getting with his folks right now. Hey, Juckins, I need you to get to, here's how we need to be working with it. Get with your receivers. Get with Jerry Jeudy. If you're listening, 12. If you're listening, young OG, the best thing that you need a Jimmy Horn. You need you a Travis Hunter. Start getting ready with Jerry Jeudy. You're going to need him to ball out. Go watch that tape with Jerry Jeudy and Jameis Winston from last year and how Jameis Winston found Jerry Jeudy consistently open. Get him feeling like a franchise top flight receiver. And I guarantee you he'll start catching them footballs. Tell him, hey, listen, I'm going to give you a 50-50 balls. Give him my opportunity for him. All that check down stuff, give him my opportunity, right? And by the way, realize this. I agree with what some Sean King said. He said, listen, Shedeur Sanders, I'm going to give you some advice. You're not going to win the starting job in one day. You can't beat them on all in one day. You're not going to get the naysayers off your back in one day. You can't prove them all wrong in one day. Keep building. Build. Understand where to take your shots at. Understand where to make your plays at. Sometimes live to fight another day. You got time. Don't try to win it all in one day. Figure out your plan now so that you can execute when you get in. But I know you're going to do that. I'm just letting you know. Find you a couple allies. When you tell them I believe in you, I'm going to give you a 50-50 chance. Push come to shove, I'm coming to you. I guarantee you start making some plays. Big J1. It's difference between metaphors and real raps. Dom DeMarco. Dom DeMarco. Damn. Yeah, it is. It's a different. See, that's what I be telling you. I mean, I don't know Big J1. But if you go ask a beat reporter, what's the difference between grown man? It's a difference between metaphors and real rap. You tell them, what's Lux's third round? I don't know. When you say free to wave, what does that mean? Huh? When you ask who you got winning, Jay Mills or E. Ness in Bad Boy Studios, huh? When you ask what's the greatest song of all time, and you say, well, listen, I got to give it Pete Rock and CL Smooth. When you say what's your favorite pair of Jordans, the threes or the Concords, huh? When you say what's the difference between a mixtape and an album, huh? When you ask, what is Dat Piff? Huh? When you ask, why is it that everybody can wear a Yankees hat if you black? We know why. The Timbs. Why do we wear Timberlands and we don't wear them to work? Huh? What's the one pair of shoes every person got to have in the wardrobe? Crispy pair of whites. Forces. All the time. If you confused and you don't know the answers to none of those questions, why would you believe that people divulge information to you? We grow up and we just know. We grow up and even the thugs and the people in the streets, in the penitentiaries love Michael Jackson. Everybody know Michael Jackson's the greatest entertainer of all time. He had foreign people passing out. Just what are you talking about? See, it's a difference. That's why I talk about culture, because culture matters. We know about the smell of a curling iron or hot iron on a Saturday morning. We know what it looked like when somebody put too much Murray's in their hair to try to get waves. Maybe I'm just doing too much. Maybe if you know, put a 1 in the chat. It's 3,000 people. Hit the like button. Maybe I'm just doing too much. I done alienated a few people. Old but strong 69 G Bush. Happy birthday on my first cup of coffee, bro. I appreciate you. C.A. Anderson, propaganda is real. Cleveland's campaign is on world display. Hey, the games keep happening. The propaganda is getting weaker and weaker, right? DeMonte, somebody said that they have a PR person by Shedeur locker room after practice, so he can't talk to the media now. You know who said that? I believe that was Tony Grossi. I mean, you see how we working with that? He said you can't even talk to Shedeur. Can't even they got a person just walking around him. Just don't you say nothing. And these are the questions. And by the way, if they got a PR person walking around people telling you what not to say and how not to say it, why would people just jump up and down and be like, hey, let me tell this reporter that I think Shedeur should be playing? Where are the sources at? Come on, bro. They got the Gestapo in there. They got the federales in there. Let's just waiting. Nah, we got the CIA agents, man. Nish speaking. Praying that is your best year yet in life, G. We appreciate you, fam. Stay in this virtual pulpit. I appreciate you. I appreciate your well wishes. Beautifully blessed. Anonymous sources aren't the problem. The audacity to think that they are entitled to our spaces is. Just like Ross Sucker continually spewing lies butt hurt he didn't get an interview with Shedeur and can't get close to Prime. Now begging for an interview. There's a lot of people. Look, I told my wife this. This is crazy. I told my wife this. I said, look, people always say, hey, you should interview Shedeur, or you should interview Prime, or you should interview this. I said, if I had an opportunity to interview Prime or Shedeur, I wouldn't even talk about football. I don't really care about to talk football with them, right? I want to talk about other things. I want to talk about community. I want to talk about faith. I want to talk about purpose. I want to talk about shoes. I want to talk about hobbies. I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about peace, prosperity, family. I want to talk about things that actually matter, right? And I would never go up to Shedeur Sanders or nobody in his family say, hey, let me get an interview, because I understand how that's perceived. Even if I ever spoke to Shedeur Sanders, nobody would ever know about it, because the individuals and where we come from, it's just another place to use to destroy your credibility. If he plays a bad game, you should have not. If you would have been worried about throwing the football instead of going on G. Bush's platform, you would be good. Coach Prime, yeah, G. Bush, the reason you say what you say is because you got Coach Prime on there boosting your ratings. It's G. Bush, we know that you was doing this because it's an easy trap. It's an easy trap. They just use it to discredit you and say this is another bad reason. You're hanging out with bloggers. Come on, guys. Even if I talk to Shedeur Sanders every day, I would never say anything. Because at the end of the day, that's part of the game, is realizing with sources what's relevant and what's not. And sometimes your job is to protect your credibility and to sanctity of what you do. I need to be able to have the latitude to speak on what I want to speak on. And if somebody play bad, I need to be able to say you played bad. Just like if I feel like you're getting railroaded and I think it ain't no competition, you're not being given a fair shot, I would need the space to say that too. So sometimes when it comes to sourcing and relationships, that's not to be talked about. That's not to even be put out there, because that's not what the job is. So that's where I come off on it. Even if I did, I wouldn't even be messing around to have no interviews where I'm like, I got Shedeur Sanders on today. Nah, because that would be counterproductive to his success in this city. Jeremy Shepler, look, I'm just an old veteran kill buck from Ohio, and even I can see that Kevin Stefanski is absolutely biased, we'll say. G, are you truly one of the greats? You don't care what it feels like. Kevin Stefanski, at some point in time, I always say it, what's going to keep Kevin Stefanski in his job is what's happening on the football field. And if Kevin Stefanski is not performing, the opportunity for him to be the coach won't be here anymore, and he won't have the power to keep Shedeur Sanders off the field. So, hopefully that works out for him. But winning and losing ultimately gets you up out of here. Miss Bell, I follow Coach Prime, Shedeur. Now you for the same reason. Y'all still fighting for the unapologetically, like us elders have done. I pray for your support to each of you. Keep hope alive. But look, I think I fight for that, but I also fight for the ability to see life in a different lens. That it's okay to talk about your life experiences. It's okay to say that I have a different experience than you. And it's okay for me to express that. I'm from a completely different culture than my wife. My wife tells me about her culture. Do I get offended that she talks about her culture? Why? She's talking about her life story. So when people say, you're talking about this, why does it always have to be about race? No, I'm just telling you who I am. Why does it offend you that I'm telling you who I am as a person? That got more to do with you than it got to do with me. That says a lot. Joel Weiss, 143, became a member. Thank you so much. Just a track mom. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Arian Blanchard, G. Bush, the sad part about it is they wasted a season. They could have made the playoffs just by starting Shedeur. That's a fireable offense and it's malpractice. Sometimes when you go through certain things, what happens is you telling yourself. The fact that they thought that they could waste the season and everybody was dumb enough to go along with it while they still draft quarterbacks and not give people opportunity this year was stupid on their part. That type of energy is always going to put you in a position where you can get fired. And so for those guys, I look at it like this. My job is to continue to hold you accountable to what you do on the football field. And you can play all the games that you want, but pretty soon you're going to be held accountable for that. There goes OGJ Speed. I'm 66. I'm too old not to tell the truth. Mr. Bush, this is bigger than you on what you think. I've seen it happening in baseball. Same toilet, different. You know what? If you black, stay back. Enough said. I'm gonna tell you this. There's a thing in which, when I say I feel like Harry Tubman a little bit, right? It's tongue in cheek. I ain't never did what Harry Tubman did. You talk about a calling. My calling was to talk about sports. Her calling was to save her people. It's the levels to it. But the one thing I'm proudest about is that I feel like I opened the lane, or God giving me the ability to be an example of it, that you don't have to talk, walk, look like what's out there to be a viable option for people to watch and listen to. I proved that there is a way that you can talk and do a job where it's viable because people will listen. People will show you love. People will watch this. I don't have to have a button up on. I could wear my hat, my fitted hat. I could wear I like watches. I like jewelry. I could do those things, and it doesn't mean that I'm some sort of hoodlum thug that don't understand how to speak real language. Right? There's a way to do it. Right? You can't be strictly ignorant, right? But at the end of the day, I'm proud that yes, you can talk like we talk, and yes, you can be unapologetically who you are and make a living in this industry. I'm proud of that. So again, there's a lot of things that, people come in for, and maybe it's money, fame, attention, whatever. I'm happy because of some of the things that are now here that weren't here when I was here. Jimmy from Cleveland. Yeah. Oh, you said Jimmy Cleveland. Lived in Ohio, Detroit, Memphis, Tennessee. The economy in Ohio is different. So people who report on Cleveland Browns will say anything to stay relevant, but you're the only one that keeps it 100. I appreciate you. I can't speak for nobody else. It's up to y'all to decide. But for me, it's more important about the feeling I get if at the end of the day. And sometimes it's tough telling the truth, because telling the truth is not gonna make everybody happy. Sometimes saying and talking about some of the things we talk about is not gonna make everybody happy. But if I can go to sleep and I know that when I pray and say, God, word and guide me what I'm supposed to say, if he's okay with it and he happy with it, I'll be happy with it. Soul Train, quarterbacks, they connect with the youth, expand the team brand, support everywhere like a Lamar, Mahomes, and Allen. 12 is good, helps Cleveland's reputation. Facts. This is the thing that we want to get to, and we got to understand, man. Soul Train been down for a minute too. Soul Train been tweeting and I appreciate your support way back when. You know what I'm saying? Back in Baker, back before that. Man, Lamar Jackson, and I always say this, you're correct with this. Those organizations that take a chance are those organizations that win big. Go back and look what everyone talked about Lamar Jackson. People said Lamar Jackson, he got braids. They shouldn't even be doing this. He's a receiver. I don't know if his mom is representing him. And you know what they did? The Baltimore Ravens jettisoned Joe Flacco and said, give me Lamar Jackson. And they built it around him. They say, let me get this kid from Wyoming and Josh Allen and build it around him. Let me get Patrick Mahomes to do with the Mohawk who throw off kilter, off platform from Texas Tech. And let's build it around him. Those who take chances and are trailblazers are the ones who gain the spoils, who win the war. You don't win the war being safe. I think you could be a serviceable backup. You can't look at the two and act like they're the same. Dylan Gabriel or Josh Allen? Dylan Gabriel or Lamar Jackson? And coming up this Sunday, you're going to see the difference between the two. And the Cleveland Browns consistently and continually try to hide people. The most disappointing part about this is the fact that, you know what? Kevin Stefanski can save his job and help himself out, but he's stuck in the sauce because he want to prove points. Mike Jones, diehard Niner gang, only here for Shedeur Sanders 12. It's like the reporter keep the losing culture going on more than anything or anyone change how the reporter is a losing mindset. They keep it up. A lot of time, them reports come from the people that's in the organization. And it's up to you whether you want to report it or you want to refute it. So you ask like where it comes from. That's where it be coming from. Joshua Wilson, Shedeur Sanders is a touchdown dark Jesus. Amen. I can't call nobody no Jesus. There's only one of them. I hope he throws some touchdowns, though. Cash Money. They lied and said DG is 5'11". Please, 5'8", if possible. We appreciate you. Katrina Tyson, keep cooking, G. Bush. Where's my apron? That's what Goods told Averb. I'm cooking him. Bring me my apron. Ms. Bell, Grossi said Shedeur to go 1 or 2 preseason draft. Now he faking it. Cash Money. DG high fives kids is height. Linemen are 6'5". Shaking my head. Boxing Logics United. G Yoda, G Bush in the building. Smart you are. United Logic Boxing. Same place, same time. Cash Money. I want to see them Browns trophies for my family. If you know, you know. I need that. Deshaun Howard. I've never seen this much pushback in regard to sources, national or local. The real anger is the message and the messenger, like you said. I ain't never seen, like, come on, man. You try to, come on, man. Stop. Come on now. Come on now. I can't believe this guy. You mean it's like y'all gotta, like, you gotta think about it, man. Like, that's why it's important. Sometimes you gotta remind people because they will try to discredit you. And sometimes you're like, hold on. I'm a humble guy, but let's not act like I just woke up yesterday and started doing this. Ariane Blanchard. Because Dable and Todd McShay's drunk ass, this is nonsense. They put out the hit piece in week before the draft. At least they beat them. I'm playing unless you're going to do it. That's funny. And let me just say this. Brian Dable, you out of a job. You should have been worried about what you was doing. All that Shedeur Sanders, he was then, bro, listen, you was all that, he was doing this and disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful that your quarterback got 4 or 5 concussions and you're trying to get him to go back into the football. See, this is YG Bush. I think that's a little more disrespectful. You up out of a job now too. That's what happens when narratives can't save your job, bro. You should have been worried about what you was doing because you was on the hot seat this year. G. Bush, on a serious note, I hope Bernie get well so he can see Shedeur play with all the Stefanski dysfunction coaching style for the last 2 seasons. Let me show you something, Neil Gray. You know, I want everybody that's in here, I want y'all to put the prayer hands up for Bernie. If you're catching this late, I want the prayer hands up in the chat. I want the prayer hands up in the comment section. To me, I know Bernie personally. And it's hard seeing somebody you call a friend go through things like that. We talk about going through the wilderness. And the fact that Bernie keep going and won't stop and continues to do what he do is courage beyond courage. You know, his health is deteriorating, and it's just hard. You know, I don't really get too close to players, and I don't really you try to keep a separation of church and state, but you know, Bernie was one of the real ones who just liked how I talked, and then we can really, you know, sparked up a genuine relationship. And it's tough seeing your friend be sick, man. It's real tough. You know, he has appearances on UCSS, and I usually sit right beside him. And it's hard, man. It just is, because there's nothing you could do. Like, you can't, you know, there's no, you know, you can't do anything about it. Like, all you could do is pray, and you just trust in God that he get a transplant. But you know, there are bigger things than football, and there's greater things than football, and he represents them. So, you know, I love Bernie as a person, and you know, I just want everybody to really pray and to really show him love, and realize that, you know, he one of the legends. He's one of the people. I don't know what the relationship is, but Bernie Kosar supposed to be. I don't care. Listen, if it's my team, and no disrespect to nobody that's with the Cleveland Browns, I just want to say this. I'm only saying how I feel. Man, Bernie ain't never got to work a day in his life. Like, he gonna be. I don't care if he got to just pull up and come to the game and just sit there. He good. He good. He ain't never got to do nothing. He gonna be my ambassador for what he meant, for what he doing, for what he going through. You know what I'm saying? He one of the last remaining people from an era where we was actually relevant and doing something. And he done persevered, turned his life around, got off drugs, fighting. Bro, listen, all you got to do is show up. All you got to do is keep living. And you good forever. Like, that's just how I feel. And you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, man. Put them comments up. Put the, you know what I'm saying? Put that respect on Bernie's name. Nita J. When Ross Sucker is coming back on UCSS to apologize about the Bonnie comment on Deion and his racist grandpa, I feel it was appalling. That's Shedeur's father, just unacceptable behavior. I don't agree with the statement. I've already said that. You know, I'm more in terms of, you know, I'm never going to put nobody in a position where, because I don't like what they do, right? I don't know Ross's grandfather. He offered this story. You already know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But that's for him to answer to, whatever the case may be. My guy, G. Bush, you're cooking. Defense Shedeur Sanders' reputation is absolutely necessary at this point because the lies are insane. You know, I mean, I think Shedeur's doing a real good job of just chilling and hanging out. And I probably wouldn't even have said nothing either if they would have been like, oh, my gosh. Like, are people saying, I'm like, come on, bro, it's out there available. You see it. NBA Knicks than everyone else. 30 white man sources say it's how all conspiracies begin. I always found it funny that people that never watched Shedeur Sanders play or anything, they believed every source that was invisible about him and his interview process. But you can't believe that people that are Browns players are like, yeah, I think he's pretty good. Even they said it on record. It's kind of wild. Ms. Sunny FL. The sad part is the whole city is looking. The restaurants that hired extras help. Nobody cares from the organization. Browns are losing. But I tell you what, though, it's going to be some people that's waiting to see it. Eric, thank you, G. Bush. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Oh, Shanae? I tried it. Shania. There it is. That's it. Listen. There it is. Shania. That's it. It's clear that they're deliberately holding Shedeur Sanders up to have the first picks of the draft. Him playing well and winning games ruins their chance. Big shame. Let me tell you something, Shania. It's coming. Oh, we are on the horizon. I love this quote. You want a source? I'm a source. C.A. Anderson. I saw it. I see it. And Shedeur's him. I love this one. I'm the source. Ariana Blanchard. Thank you, G. Bush, for doing this. Thank you. This should be put out on every platform. Hey, if y'all want to use it, y'all can use it. Y'all want to know the sources? They was right there ready for you to see, right in front of your faces. Sean Lear. G. Bush, you said the current Browns players reached out to you. Who's that player? You listing everyone else's sources and clips, but your own sources. Again, I want you to go to Sean. I don't know if you know this, right? So can you go to Mel Kiper and say which general managers told you something? Can you go to any other person in the media and say who told you that? The first and foremost, can you go to anybody in the White House, right? When somebody writes an article, right, in the Washington Post or the New York Times, and they say, we got 3 Republican people on Capitol Hill. We got 3 Democratic Republicans, sources on Capitol Hill in the Senate. We got a source from inside the cabinet. Do you know the CIA has sources, confidential informants? Why would you understand? I don't know if you might understand the way this thing works. People don't reveal sources. Then it would be counterproductive to people telling you things. So I don't know if you feel like you questioning my sources is then going to make me break a principle that is old as time, but why would I do that? You might as well just basically say, you know what, G. Bush, I think you're lying. All right, well, if you feel I'm a liar, that's cool. You can just stand on that. But here's the point. Not only did I not tell you who I was talking to, I did it one better. I then went to and destroyed the premise and said, all these people said he can play on record. So if you want a source, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. The premise is nobody thinks he can play. I just showed you 10 people who said on record to multiple press outlets that he could play and what he said. But you would like someone to crash out. Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean. Come on. I studied communications at a very good school. The I got yous don't work. C.A. Anderson, put I'm a source in the chat. C.A. Anderson ain't playing today. John Schaff, the Browns will not win on the road this season. They are every home team's homecoming game. You're right. Everybody get their money off on that list. It could get ugly. The home games is gonna get like this game against the Ravens could get nasty work. Yoshi Doshi, I don't need jerseys. That's about the About Me section of the books says Coach played, and the last line is Go Browns. My fandom is in the Library of Congress. There it is. Got the resume out there. Sean G. Bush, you said the current Browns players reached out. Who's the player? You listed everyone else's sources and clips, but your source. Man, listen, I appreciate you. That's two. I like the super chat. I like that you doubled down on that. You ran it back. We appreciate you, Sean. But you gotta try harder than that. I think the players who trusted Kevin Stefanski the last few years ain't riding with him no more. Yeah, people have been jumped off that ship. They've done jumped off that. King Caton, appreciate the super chat. Crown, man, no franchise been through. Oh. If you are still with me, looks like we're having a little malfunction. I think my camera overheated. So if you did not see this, you're seeing this right now. We appreciate you holding on. We want to get to a couple of them. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Oh, we'll see how it works. Oh, are we back? There we go. There we go. All right. Let's get back to it. We appreciate we appreciate you guys. Let's try to work through these because I don't want it to overheat again. Where was we at? All right, here we go. Let's figure out our place. Here we go. Squizarm says, wasn't Dable the one who said Shedeur bombed the interview? He called because he did not know a couple of terms. Yeah, that was him. Yep, that was him. That was him hating. Well, I guess he don't need to know his terms anyway. He out of here too. Cameron Kelly, Dan Orlovsky had the same agent as Kevin Stefanski and Dylan Gabriel. I guess. Shout out to them boys. Shout out to they gonna hold it down. Rusty and Sean Lear. The irony. Anyway, y'all are insignificant. 12 is him, and because we are all sources, he's better. Super chat more than 2 Browns games tickets. We appreciate all the super chats, right? I'm hearing incredible too. Why is DG playing? Why is he playing, man? Let's see. David Walker. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Psych Ops Sports. Can't confirm it, but we had a source to say something happened between Deion and Kevin when he coached under Zimmer in Minnesota. And Kevin is known to hold grudges. Allegedly. John Byers. Wild how the loudest 12 haters had short careers. Practice squad, never played, but real guys show him love. Hate real bad for you, your blood. Yeah, listen, I don't know how you can be mad at Coach Prime. Prime is prime. It is what it is. You have to accept that. Let's keep it pushing. Even the devil don't want me to get through this. Even the devil hating. The camera gonna heat up on him. Now we're gonna get through all this. Let's see. Nita J. Burnsy, Sean. We are not new to this. We know the game. We see it. We see it at work. Our kids' sports and other activities, going to the mall, U.S. Congress, the hospital. You can't keep talking crazy, but we will not be distracted. Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. You, G. Bush, show your cards. If you're a real person, come on, man. Stop. I've been doing this 15 years. Been doing this 15 years. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I don't play football with professionals, athletes, guys that's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I just got done talking. Y'all got to understand, I just got done talking about how much of a personal friend Bernie Kosar is to me. You don't think we talk no football? Come on, guys. Bernie was calling his own plays in the pros. Let that sink in. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You guys are funny. Let's keep it pushing. G. Bush is funny when you speak the truth. The haters show up and keep up the good work. Oh, they gonna show up. They come with the game. It's okay. It's all right. You know, if I wasn't about that life, I would be just, you know, they don't move nobody. They just, you know, they here for they gonna come get this work too. Stefanski is a grown man who publicly discouraged, humiliated, and sabotaged a young kid on your own team while acting like we have interest for all 53 players. Make it make sense. Yeah, he ain't. He don't, like I said, I think it's just strange that when asked about him in public, he won't say his name. It just is what it is. I think that's kind of strange. G. Bush doing it for the culture. Your voice in these spaces. I appreciate you. Beautifully Blessed says, happy birthday, little bro, singing the Stevie Wonder version. If you know, happy birthday to. If you don't know the Stevie Wonder, nobody's giving you sources. G, it's time for some moderators in the chat, people in the chat. The White Hoods is showing up strong. They'd be all right. We'll get them together. They're all right. Yeah, you cool. The sources are the fans that have seen Shedeur play in high school. Nick Saban, one of them. J-State, Division II Freshman of the Year. Colorado, Big 12 Player of the Year. God's will can't be undermined. John Shaft, we appreciate you. And we don't got to validate nothing. That's another thing. Validation is over. What makes you feel like I got to explain anything to you? Do you think that, like, I'm going to have to convince you and then I'm going to jump off what I'm saying about a football player? Like, your opinion, really, I don't even really pay attention to a lot of people's opinion. I mean, what good is yours? I mean, so I'm not going to be whole until Sam and Chagrin Falls is telling me that he agrees finally. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop. John Byers, the idea that coaches always want the best player, best talent, that has to stop. Belichick tried to trade the GOAT for Jimmy G. His hate was strong. By the way, Bill Belichick got jettisoned because it was between him and Tom Brady. Tom Brady went on to win his championship, and Bill Belichick is doing, he's not doing so well, getting destroyed in Chapel Hill. Come on, dog. Then nobody want to give him no job. What are you talking about? People play the best players. Why would you? Do you think the best people in our world run our country? The smartest people are the CEOs? The hardest working people make the most money? Like, what world do you think we live in? We've been told our whole lives that, and we found out the hard way our whole lives, that the people on top ain't the people that deserve to be there. But they do a good job of fooling the people that put them in those positions, think that they're there for a reason. Not me. Not I. Jeremy Augustin. Some people call Stefanski the Dylan Gabriel of coaching. He does have shortcomings in terms of his playbook. I don't like to pick or his playbook. Tony QTT. Super good show, G. Bush. Love it. Thank you so much, sir. Roshi Doshi. Congratulations, Rosie. Great day. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much. Reverend BJ Nelson. Congrats, Miss Rosie Bush. Awesome. You see you, auntie. I think she gonna get to do. Are you gonna have your Colorado stuff on when you sign in? They do the oath thing. You know, I swear to, you know what I'm saying, uphold the Constitution. No, that's for public officials. But yeah, I think they give her a flag or some certificate. I said, this is anticlimactic. They got to give you like a, you know what I'm saying, don't give you like no bonds or no stocks or nothing. You just give you a photo op. I need something more than that. Sean Lear. G. Bush, you said the current Browns players reached out to you. Who's that player? You're listing everyone else's sources and clips, but your own source. Sean, I thank you so much for the super chat. Cut, copy, paste is a great function. What up, G. Bush? I'm a Panthers fan and new member of your barbershop. I said on UC, it says Brownsfield should fire everybody, hire Louis Rig. G. Bush should hire a Leftwich and offensive coordinator and Shedeur and take off. I'm going to see if they keep Schwartz. I like Leftwich as an offensive coordinator. I don't know if Louis Riddick wants to get back into it. It's stressful being back into what's the name. It's stressful getting back into this game. He's making a lot of money doing a lot of different things. But I'm willing to listen to a lot of different stuff. I listened to this regime. I mean, it can't be worse. Nathaniel Lasik, 2478. G. Bush, Emmanuel Acho says Shedeur Sanders was a 5th-round pick, and we use gloves when we talk about Shedeur. No one has a 5th-round pick in his draft slide, was most in the NFL history. My thing is, I always tell people like this, I don't handle nobody with no gloves. Like, the thing is, where has he played? If you got a grade on Shedeur Sanders and you think you can play back in Colorado, what meaningful football game has he played since his last game in Colorado? He played in the preseason game, but y'all told me preseason didn't count until he played too well against the Panthers, and you said it didn't count. But then you thought he didn't play well against the Rams, but that counted. So which is it? So my thing is, bro, there hasn't been a meaningful game. And what kid gloves are we talking about? The only kid gloves we handling is acting like Dylan Gabriel's him. The reason why we do most of our content on why Shedeur Sanders isn't ready in terms of comparing why Dylan Gabriel was playing poorly and was never a pick that the Browns should even put this stamp on. See what I'm saying? That's the catch-20. That's the trick they pulled. G. Bush, Sarita Allen, thank you so much. Happy birthday, my fellow Scorpio. They're trying to discredit you, but keep telling the truth. Love your show. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Shout out to all the Scorpios out there. Bro, you can't discredit. Ain't nothing to discredit. Like, hey, by the way, let me ask you this question. Which colleague in the media has come out and said I was lying? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Who said that? Not one person. Nobody. Who said that? Nobody